Appreciate everybody at Pivot Socks with a getpivot.com. That's GETPYVOT.com. Use the promo code Sneakers Podcast. Get yourself a discount. Get yourself some free shipping. Like I said, every pair of socks you buy does support an episode of this ridiculous podcast. Go to getpivot.com, GETPYVOT.com. Don't forget the homies over at Sneak Apparel. Get yourself a pair of sunglasses. Like I said, they got the tortoise browns. They got the blacks. Like I said, them joints is a sneakerhead company. They make sunglasses and hoodies and stuff like that. Use the promo code 4. That's the number 4. DISS. Don't forget the homie over at, what's this stuff called? I forgot. Well, guess I'm not going to say it.
Who?
Can't remember. Oh, Prime Supply. My bad. Forget the homie at Prime Supply. He had the green hat that I wore the other day.
I know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't have been able to remember the name.
I just remembered off the top. Shout out to him, man. That's the homie, man. Go ahead and buy a hat, get a hoodie, get something from him. He said he's getting ready to do a new drop coming up pretty soon. Obviously, I got the information on the screen. Go ahead and follow him. That's the homie. What is this? Sneak This Podcast episode 322.
I can look it up if you want.
322. Like I said, I was telling the homie Wilson, I was like, this may be the very last year, and I know I say that every single year for this podcast, but I am tired, all right, physically and mentally, all right? This is episode 322. We got George, we got Greg, we got the owner of Rerun, one of the hottest sneaker boutiques in Arizona.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Okay, it's okay for you to say it. See the diamonds over there shining and stuff. That's the homie Wilson. Winslow. The homie Wilson, the owner of Rerun in Arizona. Obviously turned into like it's basically a destination spot now. Like I feel like for Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get there, honestly.
I mean, I feel like everybody that like hits me up, they're like, yo, what do you go in Arizona? Rerun's always one of the ones that we throw out to them. Make sure, like, it's like, hey, it's a little bit ways out where you maybe stand, but it's one of them spots, man. They say, oh, yeah, we follow them on social media. Y'all definitely big on social media right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to pump out as much as we can and pretty much be, I guess, the round 2 flight club of Arizona, you know? That's what we're trying to get to.
Dang, y'all trying to get to that level?
Yes, sir.
Y'all got more stores coming?
Hey, we might. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
We're going to talk that. We're going to talk about Rerun for a little bit. But real quick, I had already promised some people that they wanted me to talk about the Cowboys real quick. Now, look, I've calmed down a little bit. It's not about the Cowboys. I think I'm just so sick and tired of the internet. I really am. I understand. Look. All right? I'm trying not to get mad because I already have a headache. All right? You want to post your memes? You want to post your stuff? I'm cool with it. I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that. 49ers fans, I have some real homies that are Niners fans. They didn't message me. They didn't say nothing. They know the drill. They didn't say nothing to me. But strangers, now I get it. I appreciate the popularity of this podcast. Strangers who are 49ers fans, if we've never had a conversation about sneakers, about the podcast, about anything ever, and you chose that day to be the first day you ever messaged me, don't ever again. All right? If you think I'm talking about you, I am. And if you're not sure I'm talking about you, trust me, I'm talking to you. All right? Here's the problem that I have about this. I'm getting so sick and tired of people of worse teams messaging me about the Cowboys. Worst teams. Fam. The Buffalo Bills played the Bengals the game before the Cowboys. A Buffalo Bills fan messaged me and said, basically just a bunch of ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha's. Never talked to my entire life. I looked at we have no history.
Disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. And he said, I can't wait for Stephen A to talk about y'all. Here with Stephen A. I said, what, fan, what are you talking? You're a Buffalo Bills fan. You had Hamlin get out of his recovery bed to come watch you in blistering cold, and y'all broke his heart. No pun intended. Like, legit lost it in front of him at home in front of your fans, and you sitting there talking about me. He was like, oh, yeah, but we ain't. He's like, look, things happen. We play the Bengals. We play the 49ers. 49ers ain't no joke. Like, you act like we play it like somebody. And I'm sitting here like, buddy, the Buffalo Bills is the only team in NFL history and sports history to get to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lose 4 years of them. And they lost 2 of those to the Cowboys. I had Niners fans messaging me. I said, buddy, and this is the thing I'm sick and tired of. People not realizing the own history of their own teams. The Niners haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995. The Cowboys won in 1994. We both ain't won a Super Bowl in 25 years. Oh, at least we got there. Yeah, you got there and lost 2. You lost 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. Guess what? You may lose 3 in the last 15 years. So what? Don't message me about this. I got Titans fans message me. The Titans fan messaged me. You know what he said? We weren't supposed to win. I said, we weren't supposed to. What you doing playing in the NFL then? Tell the state to get rid of your team if you ain't supposed to win. He said the Cowboy fans are annoying. Let me tell you something. You can't say Cowboys fans are delusional because they think their team is going to win the Super Bowl. So you mean to tell me a Cowboy fan cheering for their team, regardless, is delusional, but people call themselves real fans if they go, oh, my team is going to go 4-14 this year. That makes you a 4-13. That makes you a real fan because you can identify your team sucks? No. You should have said, every single year, every Cardinals, every Titans, every Jets play, and Rico too. When Dak threw that first interception, Rico sent that text message, let's go Dak. Fam, the Jets are still on the tarmac at LaGuardia. Like, shut up. I got so many messages, no joke. I was boiling. Not because of the Cowboys. Cowboys are Cowboys. I mean, I put on season 3 of The Sopranos, and I moved on that night. It's been here, been there, done that. But people really need to look at the history of their own teams. Though. I'm sorry. There's a lot of teams that wouldn't be invited to the cookout if that was a real thing. It wouldn't be. There are so many teams that have so many losses and such a long history of losing. I got a Browns fan messaging me. Fam, let me tell you something. Everybody, Stephen A. gonna light y'all up. Fam, Stephen A. I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith. Bought his book, Straight Shooter. Got an autographed copy the other day. Sent it to the house. Love Stephen A. Smith. But it's just antagonizing. Like, he doesn't really care. Like, if you really think about the 49ers history, they're just as bad as the Cowboys right now. I don't care. They've been in 2 Super Bowls in the last whatever. They lost both. Who cares? Like, y'all need to really stop. I'm starting to get on a lot of these geeks. There are teams that beat their team in the playoffs and then post nothing about the team they beat, but they post about the Cowboys. Fam, your team just beat the whomever, but you had time to post that. I looked at this one guy. He had 19 tweets about the Cowboys 49ers. I looked at his game, Eagles fan, he had like 2 tweets. Now, look, I get the Eagles blew the Giants out, but you ain't got nothing else to say. You sat there. For people who act like they hate the Cowboys and don't care about you guys got 3.5 hours to watch the Cowboys just to lose. Huh? The Cowboys is the most popular team in sports history, period. I don't care what anybody says. Win, lose, or draw, period. All right? All geeks. All of you are geeks, you're losers, and you're clowns. You message me ever again. I don't care if you never listen to this podcast ever again. You guys are a bunch of weirdos. Do not message me anymore about the Cowboys. I could care less if the Cowboys win or lose. Guess what? We're going back to Super Bowl next year. Sorry, we are. And if we don't again, guess what? I'll be right back here saying the exact same thing, you dweebs. Fam, I'm talking about Panthers fans message me, Jaguars fans message me. I'm like, even Chiefs fans, let me tell you something. The Chiefs have 2 Super Bowls. I think one was, 1964? And the other was 2020. Guess what? You already lost, one other one? You're still not relevant to me. You could be cool. You got the greatest quarterback right now in football, but you're still not relevant. You got 2. What does Raiders got? 4? 3. If you ain't got 3 or more, don't even say a word to me, all right? Even the Rams only got 2. Cats messaging me like, yo, the Chiefs and fam, forget the Chiefs. If you ain't the Patriots, shut up. You ain't the Steelers, shut up. You ain't the Packers, shut up. You ain't the 49ers, shut up. All right, don't say nothing to me. Even the Eagles fan, you got 2 Super Bowls. Even the Commanders, Generals, Redskins, football team, whatever they are this week, they got 4 Super Bowl wins, I think. Maybe 3 or 4. So don't say nothing to me about that. I seen a Commander, General, Redskin do a skit about the Cowboys losing. He did an entire skit. Like, you weren't even in the playoffs. Y'all did 3 quarterbacks. What are you doing? But you know what? I get it. Y'all love the Cowboys. I get it. Marcus Spears on First Take this morning, ESPN. I'm going to let him know, too. Sold out. Folded. He let Stephen A. fold him up. Started getting on Dak and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. We ain't got nobody else. Dak is the guy. Sorry. Now, unless y'all going to get Mahomes or somebody, and the quarterback to get the most heat, Josh Allen. Josh Allen. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
There's people out there who believe it was conspiracy.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do.
NFL had the Bills lose, so they would stop talking about DeMar Hamlin because he's really dead. And it was a body double. You ain't seen that?
No, but I'm pretty sure I know what side that comes from. All right?
Yep.
Bunch of wackos. Anyways.
I don't even think that's surprising anymore.
It's not. It's now, I follow pages now just to laugh at stuff like that. Like this conspiracy and weird views on certain things like that. But anyways, like I said, don't message me no more about the Cowboys. I don't care. Cats was sending me. I'm not talking about the homie Mills in Florida. That's my guy. But I got sent this a bunch of times. Like this guy, like a TikTok skit where he's like, I asked for the day off on the 11th and 12th to go watch the Cowboys in the Super Bowl or something like that. And that's the weekend. I said, he works the weekend. He already got problems. If he don't own the company, unless he owns the company, he got to ask his boss. You already got problems. You work weekends. So don't even send me that garbage, all right? Unless you the boss. You own the company, you work weekends, I get it. But if you got to ask somebody, don't say nothing to me. No, all you geeks with us, like I said, if you think I'm talking about you, I am. And if you're not sure, trust me, I am. All of you weirdos. Somebody told me my team wasn't, you know what? And it was Josh. Shout out to Josh. That's the homie. I love the homie Josh. He said the Buccaneers weren't supposed to beat the Cowboys, but the Cowboys lose to the Niners. And I'm like, well, everybody had the Niners beating the Cowboys. Like, don't nobody trust the Cowboys. No, make no difference, man. Make no difference. Like I said, you a Browns fan, Texans, Panthers, Jaguars, Chiefs, any of these teams with literally 1, 2 or less Super Bowls or 0 or no a Cardinals fan? Damn, you good? You good. A Cardinal fan. You spend money on actual jerseys and you gonna sit there and tell me I'm delusional? All right. I respect all the people who didn't message me talking crazy, though. And there's sports etiquette. Like you said, Rico, I don't know why Rico just don't get it, but I don't get it. If my team is on TV and we homies, you ain't got to root for my team. You just don't say nothing bad about it. I thought you taught him that lesson. I thought you taught him the lesson about that. If my team is on TV, you don't say nothing bad about them, especially if your team is at home. Now, if your team is playing against my team on TV, it's free game. You do whatever you got to do. But until then, you say nothing. You don't even say nothing afterwards. You don't say nothing until I make a joke or make fun of my team. You don't say nothing. No. That's sports etiquette for anybody who listens to this podcast. If my team is on TV and you, my homie, you don't say a word for it. If my team is in a World Series or the Super Bowl or NBA championship and you can hate my team guts, you better not say a word to me about my team losing or laughing or jokes. Nothing. Period. Appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, share this podcast. YouTube, Apple, all that stuff. Go like, subscribe, share, review, do all those good old things. Pickups.
I mean, everyone's trying to get rid of Dak now. You see that?
Geeks.
What's his name? Skip, that fake video he did?
Man, if y'all don't stop sending me stuff of people breaking TVs and setting jerseys on fire, fam, that man is an adult male wearing a $135 jersey, and he was watching a 32-inch TV, and he punched it. If you believe that, first of all, if he was really watching a 32-inch TV and punched that wearing a 32-inch TV costs about $75 now, and he punched that, stop. It was fake. It's viral stuff. A man pick up a TV, go outside, run over his car, stop. Them is thoughts. Them is internet thoughts. They just trying to get viral and do it. Every single year, somebody punching something after a Cowboys game or send something on fire.
The one where he shot the TV last year was funny. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but it was either the Cowboys or the Raiders, but that cat shot the TV. I was dying laughing.
I watched somebody wearing a Tony Romo jersey set a Dak jersey on fire. Like, what are you trying to say? Tony Romo ain't got no Super Bowls either. So what are you trying to say?
Well, you're not talking about the brightest crayons in the box.
Geeks, losers. Don't send me none of that goofy stuff anymore. I'm going to start making fun of people that make fun of stuff and don't know their own history of their own teams. Panthers fans sending me stuff. Panthers. Man, if y'all don't stop. Somebody said, well, technically the Browns got Super Bowls. It was the Ravens, but they left. Oh, you doing that now? The Ravens left Cleveland and went to Baltimore? You calling them Super Bowls yours? All right. I see where you at.
I mean, you can do it if you change to a Ravens fan and follow the organization. But if you didn't and you still a Browns fan, you can't do it.
Nah, you can't do it either. I don't care.
If you're a Ravens fan, you could be.
Nope. Unless they went to Baltimore, it was the Baltimore Browns, cool. You could do that.
Nah, it's the same.
You can't go into a whole nother color scheme, a whole nother identity.
It's the same ownership, though.
Nah, I don't believe in that. Now, you go from Los Angeles Raiders to Oakland Raiders, cool. You go from Oakland Raiders to Vegas Raiders,
it's the same ownership. Think about how many franchises have moved over history. I mean,
different.
I just looked one up today. The Baltimore Orioles used to be the St. Louis Browns. I'm sure St. Louis people are now
happened in
Cardinal
like
fans.
1943.
It's the same thing. We talk about this all the time. You say like those like treaties don't matter anymore. Like
that's I mean in war.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing.
I mean with the United States government. I don't mean football.
You said no matter.
If you're an Arizona
more.
Cardinals fan and you try to claim a Chicago Cardinals, not even a Super Bowl. It was a football championship.
No, I'm saying if you were alive when the team was in the old spot and you just followed it to the new spot. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you just were born now and you like Chicago Cardinal. No. We're not doing that. But if you were in Cleveland when they were the Browns and you were like, okay, I'm going to be a Ravens fan before you knew the team was coming back, that's fine. You could be a Ravens fan.
Not in my book. Leave me alone.
That's fine.
And like I said, if you think I'm talking about you, I am. And if you're not sure, I'm talking about you. And you don't have to listen
I'm
to
not saying Ravens
again.
No, I'm not saying Ravens fans can talk junk to Cowboy fans. I'm just saying it's okay to be a Ravens fan if you're from Cleveland.
Oh, no, but you can't own those Super Bowls. I don't care.
Why not?
You can't. Sorry. Wilson, you got any pickups?
Nope.
Anything recent? Man, stop.
It's dry, man.
Man, I'll be seeing you put on something every day.
I mean that's old stuff, right?
Well, what you got? Nothing new recently. You ain't been on the podcast before. This your first time to the couch?
Man,
Pause.
honestly, nah, there really hasn't been anything really good coming out. I mean, everything early, we kind of already got, like those Photon Dust we had like a couple weeks ago, but like that's probably the next release that'll probably pop up, but nothing really.
Nothing for yourself. You ever kept nothing?
Nothing.
How many pairs of sneakers you got?
Too many.
Okay. I'll tell you this. Usually we talk to people that have like a shop or something like that. I'd be surprised at how many pairs of sneakers they actually own. It's not as many as that a lot of people would think.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of things will I'll phase out. Like, let's say good example, those Photon Dust. I'll get them early, whatever, get my couple wears out of them. I'll just sell them for retail at the shop just because, it's not something I would keep. Like,
okay.
There's just a lot of stuff like GRs and stuff. They look good, but there's not a stuff that I'll keep. So a lot of stuff gets cycled out.
Oh, so you get you don't just like collect.
Nah, I learned my lesson.
Okay.
It got to a really bad point at one point, and
okay.
I just got rid of everything.
See, some people need to hear stuff like that. George, what you copy? You copy anything? Try for anything? You tried that scratch thing today, right?
Yeah, just got errors, but my account does work again because I intentionally bought something and canceled it just to see if it was working because I thought that's what it was. We back.
There's rumors that they try to implement a new bot protection thing. That's why a lot of people.
I saw that.
I saw somebody say it on Twitter, but he's a nerd, so I don't know if I believe what he says.
Hey, I mean, if it is, we'll see what happens. But
Well, they figured something out because people ended up buying. I saw finally some pictures or whatever.
Yeah, I got through. I got through eventually, but it said my size was sold out.
I stopped trying after the first 3
because I knew it was gonna eventually. Once people started really complaining, Nike, it's happened with Nike before where stuff wasn't working right and then it just happened. So you just got to keep going in there.
If their new system makes you keep trying over and over and over again, even if it blocks bots, they can kiss my ding dong. I'm not going to keep trying for a half an hour. That's not the whole point.
I left out of it, came back. Okay, still down,
I understand that,
back.
but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if that's how the system works until they're like, the bots are done trying. Nah, fam, we ain't doing that.
Look,
you better figure out a different way to do it, or just let the bots get through. Who cares?
It said 9.5 was cooked, so I tried for a 10, said it was cooked. Tried for a 9, said it was cooked. Tried for a 12. I was like, all right, these are gone. So
I mean, they're nice, but they're not. I'm not.
They look pretty nice.
No, they're nice.
They look pretty nice.
Sitting on my phone for
half
an hour.
But if you look at everything nowadays, market's what, 140, 160. That's $20 over whatever you'd pay at sneakers. So it's
the thing. But we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the market because I'm definitely interested in, and we you're the third person we've had resale shop. We've had pound for pound.
Oh, actually, I don't know. I don't know if I got pickups or not. The box show up yet?
Oh, it's coming. I'm thinking. Hopefully that comes.
I told you I only find out about pickups after it get to your house.
No, you should take the tracking because if that come this week. Next episode may be nothing but unboxings. And that's facts.
One whole episode of unboxings.
I hope that joint got some bangers in it. Bangers. I picked up just those Timberlands I sent in the thread. The Timberland.
Oh, I didn't even know what that was. I thought that was Vans or something. I didn't even zoom in on it.
Wacko Maria collaboration Timberlands. They like cheetah print, whatever. There's some purple ones I want too, but they're not on sale yet. You know, just fire with some slim dark blue jeans and the right socks and a stussy sweater
in Atlanta. No?
Ooh,
yeah, only place you can wear those
is Atlanta.
Say what?
You're gonna be burning out here.
Nah, I'm about to be fitted. I'm about to be on the.
You're not wearing that to the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm going to the Super Bowl still somehow. Now the Cowboys ain't gonna be in there. Like I'm not gonna try as hard to get in now that the Cowboys ain't gonna be in there. My only motivation now is to see Rihanna perform, which I'll probably never ever see her perform in my life because I'm not a concert person. But I'm gonna try to get in the Super Bowl. I'm just not gonna put forth the effort of like, willing to go to jail for it. Cowboys. I wouldn't go to jail. Like I ain't gonna go to jail. I just go down there and say what y'all doing. They say, all right, Greg, get out. Like they say, Greg, what you doing? I say, you know what I was doing, man. Come on, you see the star? And they say, get out. Other than that, I got some hats. I got a bunch of hats actually. I've been buying hats kind of like crazy because when everybody was on that super duper wave of buying all the hats, they would sell out. But now the hats don't be flying off shelves anymore. They're going to sell.
And I think we get a message like every other day about someone selling their whole Hat Club fitted collection, and I'm just like,
oh, really?
I think like fitted market is crazy because there'll be one colorway that's worth $200-$300, but then you have 6 releases in between. People still think those releases are still $200-$300,
right.
And
See, it's crazy because like every once in a while, Andy or like Yuri or somebody will like sell something on eBay, and them joints go for a hitter. Yep. Even the pins, like those pins, were like
used to, not anymore.
Oh, the pins don't go for that no more.
No.
Oh,
shit.
I mean, okay. I don't think any of those hats. I mean, maybe certain hats do, but at one point those hats were doing $150, $200.
Yeah, they were doing a grip.
I don't think they're doing that no more.
I mean, shoot, pretty much.
I think people realize that like somewhere else might have like slight difference on a hat, same color, everything. You can just buy from them later.
No, and that's the thing. Like I think I see like every other store gets their own collab now to where it might look similar to Hat Club release, and people would rather just not go through the stress of waiting at Hat Club and just buy from them, and it looks the same.
And Hat Club actually did what, like, obviously we all wanted and what we want for sneakers. Like, they started putting out a ton more hats, and then it just kind of slowed down. Like, I honestly think hats were, like, a super product of COVID as well. I also think hats were a super product of, like, how high and expensive and hard it was to get sneakers. Like, I have a personal friend of mine who is super heavy into sneakers, and he only buys hats now. Yeah. Now, hats ain't, like, what they were, I guess, if you want to say that. But, like, he's like, man, I spend $60 on a hat. I don't feel as bad as spending $230 on whatever.
If you only doing one. But if you're doing both, that's where the prices get insane.
Yeah. He's like, he only does one now. He'll buy shoes for his daughter and stuff like that now, more for her than he was. So that's like $100 for her.
It's less risk, you might, and it might even be the same amount of profit now. So it's,
we'll see. Because I'll tell you this, like, all the hat pages I used to follow, I mean, they drop hats. I mean, the colors, too many colors. Colors that, like, I'm just like, okay, come on, man.
I'll be seeing some, like, watermelon sprues type hats. Yeah. I'm like, I'd never wear that.
These cats be like, oh, the cereal box pack and the Metro Subway pack. I'm like, man, if you
got one outfit for that, and then you'll never wear that hat again.
That's real. I'm like, I seen somebody recently, it was like the Marvel pack, and I'm like, come on, man.
Was that man in New York with the earring still make hats or whatever?
With the earring.
What's that?
Which one is that?
That's all I know. He had that one earring, like the Barry Bonds cross earring or whatever. What's that man in New York that we always used to?
T-Mark?
No, they used to. He works for the store, I think.
Oh, they came on the podcast, Justin?
No, not Hat Club man.
Oh,
the one in New York City. I don't know.
J-Tips.
J-Tips?
Nah.
You making up stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. The store that did all the collabs, that did like. To me, it was like better stuff than what Hat Club was doing. What's that store?
ECAP? ECAP City?
I don't think so. What's the other one? There's another one.
Buddy, we got a long list of hat stores. I don't know who.
Hey, look, if you could apply for that New Era portfolio thing or whatever, you can make whatever hat you want. And
so is that how that works?
Yeah, you just get an account, and if your store meets the criteria, like you send in your design, and I mean. It's a lot easier than you think to get your own hat. Like you just
really?
Yeah. Like if you got a store and you got a good design, I mean, you just pay for it, but like, yeah, you'll get whatever hat you want.
So you have to have a store?
I mean, I don't know the exact logistics
okay.
for it, but like I know there's a form you fill out. You know, you send in your sample, whatever. But
Okay, yeah, I've been buying a lot of hats. Like I got a bunch of hats off Packer that like sat that like people didn't like or didn't want. I got them for like $23. You know, like super duper cheap, 60% off. So I'm like, I'm buying up these hats that, you know, we were paying $50 for, and then they went up to like you blink, and now they're like $67, and you're like, I ain't paying those $70.
And that's the thing. Like even at our store, we sell more snaps than hats because, you know, one size fits all.
Right.
You take on fitteds, you gotta like, and that's one of the worst things I hate when they're like, oh, do you have a 7/1/8 or whatever, and I don't got it, but I have this 1/4. Like,
Right.
you can't just grow your head instantaneously. Right. So it's like, I think having fitteds makes me more mad than having snaps, just because it's like, there's gonna be someone who you don't have their size. And
I'll tell you this, I was heavy on snaps before the fitted thing started coming back, but I'm getting back to the snaps. Like snaps, the buckles and stuff in the back. We had because like during COVID and all that stuff, I had like a lot more hair on my head. Mm-hmm. I was wearing a 7.5 in them hats. I can't wear none of them 7.5s now.
You get a fresh cut, you got to go down.
Fresh cut is down. Like even some of these 7 3/8 fit a little weird, like a little big.
I feel that.
But other than that, I think that's it. Like I said, I copped a couple stussy sweaters. I don't know, some essential stuff. Just clothes. I don't know, some.
Yeah, it's getting cold again out here.
Oh man, it's blistering out here. Like it's crazy. Like I thought it was fading away, but I'm like, I'm glad. I'm like all these sweaters and stuff I got. I love wearing my sweaters.
You know what? It's for sure. Like we got probably 3 more weeks of this cold before that spring summer weather.
I hope it lasts at least through mid-February, at the very least. Hopefully. George, what come out this week?
Man, I'm still looking for this hat store.
Man, it's probably out of business.
I know you. Why they out of business? Everybody else in business.
I don't know.
Well, that's another thing.
There's like, a lot of hats.
If you have one of those accounts, they'll be sending you like a lot of hats that you don't even that are ugly, you know, and
really?
And you have to take in that product. So it's
see, I didn't know that.
So you might end up being left with stock that's absolutely trash. Ooh. But you have this one hat that's a banger, but like, you know, that's not what pays the bills, you know.
Sports World 165 still open, but that's not the one I was thinking of.
Sports World was a weird store. That was a hard place to cop too.
Hat Crawler, I bet you they got everything. Let me see.
Hat Crawler was when I used to have my notifications on. I was buying hats ridiculously like that. Do you ever buy some of them collections from people or no?
We did in the beginning, but it was just like. We saw the problems like right away. We were like, you know, I get this pack that everyone wants. Once the most popular size is gone, like I'm left with this inventory that's gonna sit.
Right.
So it just, you know, and that's why like Kill the Hype is so popular out here. You know, It looks good.
That's my dog.
Yeah. Shout out to Kill the Hype. That's the homie. But you know, it looks good. He just got that collab with the Suns too. So
yeah, I was gonna wear that hat today. I'm a little mad at him because I asked him for the Suns hats and he didn't send them to me. But then I went to the Suns game the other night, and I'm just going to buy it. I was like, I'll buy whatever. I was going to wear it tonight, though. I mean, wear it.
It actually is probably, like, one of their best-looking merches that they put out, too.
It's one of the main reasons why it's the best because it has more than just the upside-down logo, you know.
I think the white with the flames is fire.
Yeah, see, the white with the flames, I ended up getting the black one, but I like the valley on the side, and it had the rainbow color and the Kill the Hype, and it had, like, something else on the other side, just maybe the regular logo, upside-down sun, but them joints is dope. George, they'll come out this week.
You all got to keep talking.
Fam, stop looking for Hat Man.
I'm going to find a
Let's get the
name.
release. We got to go.
He's trying to find that kumquat, you know.
I'm going to find his name. Earring Man. That's what I call him.
Don't nobody know who you talking about.
Yeah, they do. I bet you other people.
Is he black?
No. He look like a New York cat. I don't know, like Puerto Rican or something.
Fam, you making up
Dominican.
Stuff. Don't nobody know who you talking about.
Yeah,
Fam,
I bet you they do.
What are the releases so we can get these questions and go home? I need to know what comes out.
The releases are fitted hats.
Who is this that sent me a message?
Damn. If you don't figure out the name, I'm going to be upset.
I'm not. I'll figure it out. You tell releases.
Valentine's Day Dunk Shock Drop today. You going to yell it out?
No. I have a headache.
Okay.
Shock Drop.
Okay.
And the Valentine's Day ones are actually all right.
I like them. It's like you put some cream laces in them, like, you know, you're cooked.
Once I scratched the picture on the app and I saw a little cool, I was like, them look pretty nice.
They're nice. Man.
I was like, I may have to think about keeping these.
They're good. They're not. There's no reason to jump out the window.
I mean, I ain't gonna jump out the window, but
I think we said this last time. Maybe it got postponed. Jordan 7 Barely Grape is a GS release, or kids in general, I guess, different kid sizes.
The 7, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a kid size thing or something.
Marvel collab with Diodora. The ones that look like Jordan 1s and the other Diodora runner, the N9002. Let's see. There's a Jordan 2 women's, the Craft.
Oh, that one's fire.
Is that a black one?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
it's white, ain't it?
White, yeah, white.
Yeah,
and
like
tan.
cream and brown.
Them joints is fire. I like them.
I'm sure you don't care, but there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Adidas collab coming out.
Well, everybody else seems to care
Look,
because that joint is hidden.
They're hitting on eBay, but everything always goes down once it actually comes out.
I mean,
I wonder if that card is gonna have some,
Oh, so it comes with the card?
It comes with a special edition card.
I didn't
too.
know
so
that.
That might be why it's gonna be, it'll hold some value.
So I thought that was just a bait thing. Like I thought bait was giving the card, but does it come with a shirt too?
I don't know if it comes with a shirt.
Okay, because them joints are like 600 plus on eBay.
Yeah, and that's that's anything nostalgic hits.
I don't even know what the model is. Like that model just doesn't look familiar.
I've never seen that model.
Y'all ain't got no in the store?
2000. It looks like a OG skate shoe, like
that's one of those shoes where it's like, it's kind of like those tallies when they first came out. People who was really into that. They'll pay whatever for it, and then once it comes out, it's like.
I seen them tallies in person. I was like, oh, they're not too bad.
They're not bad.
I'm not a South Park person.
Hey, but it went from 500 to like 120 real quick.
It goes quick.
Your man's Teddy Santis. Teddy Santis has another collab coming, or I don't know if it's a collab. He got another New Balance pack coming out. 990 V3 and a 990 V1 called Tan Green.
Oh, the brown ones or something like that? Or they look like
tan and green.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
they call it tan green. I don't know. Tan and green, brown and green. What you want? Neymar Puma collab. It looks like.
I mean, he's signed with Puma, so.
It looks like what's her name shoe though? What's the
Brianna Stewart?
Yeah, it kind of looks like her shoe, but maybe he got.
I like them. I'm not mad at those Pumas.
Yeah,
but
no, they're nice.
They don't promote their stuff enough. I was talking to another cat who's like the general manager. I'm not gonna say his name. He's the general manager with Puma or something like that. And we were talking about Puma back and forth. And I said he was basically saying like he loves the podcast, but we need to talk about Puma more. And I said,
come out with some heat.
Well, here's the thing. If you go look on Puma's website and you go look at a lot of stuff, they got some really dope stuff. But I said the problem is like Puma don't talk about Puma enough.
You know what it was? Like I think the last time Puma was really trending was those LaMelo Ball Rick and Morty's.
Fire.
And then before that, I think the last thing I remember with Puma was those was the Creepers with Rihanna?
Rihanna Creepers.
So that's like almost a 2-year gap between
it
stuff
is a
that's
pretty
trending.
big gap, but like even with the new LaMelo 2, I feel like obviously it's not Nike. So like you can leave
you're never gonna be there.
Yeah, like you can leave here and go buy a pair of Melos in probably any color you want. You know what I mean? Like it ain't like you ain't pressed for it. But like I go to Puma's website, they got a ton of lifestyle stuff that's like okay. They got like some actual dress shoes, loafers that are fire.
I mean, Puma suedes have always been like a nice,
it's always a nice thing. But the problem is that, like I said, Puma doesn't promote their stuff enough for me.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't
100%.
know this stuff exists. I wouldn't. I have a homie, shout out to a homie who works for Puma. I'm not gonna. Well, his name is Rick, but that's the homie. He works for Puma and does like quality control and something else, I think. And he'll like. Tell me to watch out for a few things that are coming out. And I look at this stuff like, man, these are dope. But, like, I don't see them on – and not to say that, like, that would make me cop. But, like, you got to see more of these athletes wearing this stuff, more of these celebrities.
Yeah, not even – like, I think celebs right now are running it. Like, if I see, Kyle Kuzma wearing the Puma, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
But if I see maybe, like, I don't know.
I don't even know. I got to see somebody care about it. Like, I need to see Puma care about it for me to care about it, to tell you the truth. Sorry.
I found it.
What?
My Fitteds.
Thanks.
I
know who you're talking about now.
Told you, earring man. Look, he always got that earring in every picture. I'm supposed to know who he is.
He gonna sleep good tonight now.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm like, you can't remember nothing happened yesterday, but you remember that man. That man was around 2019, 2020.
That's what I said earlier.
I know, but you can't remember nothing that happened yesterday, and you remember earring man.
Fam, he's in every picture they have for every release. Clearly I don't know his name. I was going to say earring man. All I know he got a Barry Bonds dangly earring. Huh? What do you want from me?
I thought about getting one myself.
Didn't you send this?
Yeah, I did.
I actually need this. It's sold out?
I don't know. Ask him.
Yes, DM him.
Say earring man, you got this. What else come out?
Sneak this earring man. I'm about to check the website to see if it's sold out. Stop hating, huh?
Fam, are you gonna get through the releases or you need me to do it?
Nope. Buy
You
3,
got
get
other
1 free.
Let me see. Releases.
What, bro? Nah, hold on a second. Let me look. Don't cop while I'm looking.
Let me see.
As seen on Instagram. That actually is kind of smart. They're the only site that has that.
What else? Are you gonna get through these?
Man, can I look to see if they got my hat?
So we
I
got.
haven't copped the hat in so long. You should be happy for me. You hating now, huh? Like one of them fans you was talking about earlier.
We got. They got rust pink golf shoes coming out.
I bet you
thanks.
it's on the as seen on Instagram's page.
ASIC Gel Nimbus 9.
Fam, you can't do my
Brain
section.
Deads. I'm not mad at the model. It's kind of fire. These Fear of God Los Feliz. It's a
the Birkenstocks.
Birkenstock collaboration.
Man,
I'm not mad at them.
I like it.
I'm not mad at them.
which ones?
But everyone's going on that Yeezy slide hype. That's what it is. They're trying to fill that gap.
Oh, you just read nonsense off now.
No, them Fear of God slides is okay.
Oh, they suck. Nike's coming out with the same exact thing that looks like
The
Yeezy.
comms, yep.
They look
I
like Yeezy
mean-
slides anyway.
Slides are slides. Like, I don't, people like, oh, these look like Yeezys, these look like this. Fam, once you like come up with like, it's been a long time before somebody innovated the slides. Nike tried to put the air bubble in the back. Like, they tried things.
Those Adilet, what was it? The ones that
They look like Minecraft.
Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were fire. Like,
They're fire.
But now they're, pretty much retail.
But are
still
they in
need 'em.
stores, on sites? Like, I don't know.
I don't see them in stores anymore, but like when they first came out, they were selling for just as much as Yeezy
Yeah,
slides.
them joints is
I
fire.
still need them for half price.
They're comfy. Like,
Yeah, they got the Adiprene or whatever it's called on there. On the Boost slides were never comfortable. The other ones are way more comfortable.
I never bought the Boost
And
slides.
your favorite NMD of all time is coming out.
What is that?
Pharrell NMD S1 Oatmeal.
I don't have that shoe. So, but that shoe is fire.
Human Race.
Way too expensive though. I like those.
Yeah, it's coming out.
I
You
love
cop
Human
it?
Race. Well, they already put it on confirmed. I didn't try though. But
shouldn't be that hard.
I'm not paying $230 for them. I'm sorry. Like, I can't pay full price for Adidas. I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't because I know it'd be cheaper. Now, some of the Pharrell stuff has been like kind of creeping back up a little bit. I went back to look for some like NMDs that like were low for a while, and I'm like, I'll come back later. And I'm like, whoa, $35 more.
And when he had that rainbow pack, he had the world in a chokehold.
Oh yeah, you mean the original colors?
The original.
Oh
colors,
yeah, 100%.
I was there at that first Complex Con when they had the NERD one, and man, people were going crazy.
Really?
And then I went to the one where they dropped the blue and red one, and like
That was at Stinger Con too?
no Complex Con.
Oh, Comic Con me?
Yeah. and
Oh, okay.
No one cared.
No one cared about the blue and red one?
Nah.
Dang, really?
No one cared.
That's crazy.
And that's the thing. Like I think first Complex Con, nothing's gonna ever beat that hype.
yeah,
Undefeated
because that was the
97s,
very first Complex Con ever, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
they dropped some crazy heat. Like even Nike was like, we're gonna drop 6 shoes over there. Like that was in the original Off-Whites, and
didn't they drop the Travis Air Force One, that one too?
no, it was a acronym Air Force.
Acronyms? Oh, okay.
They did that.
That was crazy though, because it's crazy how like the Air Max 97s caused like that.
Bro, people broke the
stand,
display. Yeah,
like,
and I was just
it
like,
caused all that. Now George stuck with like 3-4 pairs of them.
man,
He can't get
that's
rid
a
of them.
shoe we used to sell for
what?
$1,000.
Them
The
undefeated.
undefeated 97.
Undefeated
Oh,
97s.
no, those have been gone forever.
Oh, I thought you still sitting on
Sold those a long time ago.
them. They
I'm
they
not staring at those anymore. They smoking
They
it.
tore the display down at Sneaker Complex Con.
Complex on, yeah. Crazy.
What else come out?
Sometimes you just got to take an L on stuff. Dude.
You do.
I learned that.
I'm sure Wilson had to take some L's on a few things before.
Man, I think. Yeah, I'll tell you my quick fat SL was probably the original Zebras. Paid like almost $2,000 for them when they first came out. And, that was market back then. And
Right.
now it's a $400 shoe.
You paid for that for yourself?
Yeah, for myself.
God, you paid almost $2,000 just for a pair for
Hey,
yourself.
that was market back then.
At least you didn't end up like that meme man at round 2 in Virginia.
Oh man,
He
he
did all them
traded
trades.
like almost $4,000 worth of stuff for it, and I was like,
Those are the good old days, man.
The good old, not for him.
That's when sneakers used to break necks.
Right.
That's when necks used to get broke.
You really convinced it's over with.
It's over with. But he go. I'm gonna ask him that question. What he think about sneakers?
Union AJKO low.
I'm on the fence on it. The leather pair looks okay. I would never wear those canvas KOs. They always get so moldy and nasty.
I saw a picture of them joints on Twitter. They look like weird sub sandwiches. The shapes on them joints look crazy. They look nothing like an OG one just made out of canvas. They look wild. All right. But you think they'll go for high?
No, I think they're going to brick.
I agree. George, you copping? They lows.
If I'm awake, I'll try, but who knows?
They're supposed to be a high also.
Yeah. This was about another high too. That's right.
Your favorite Jordan model, Jordan 2 retro low responsibility.
Those are fire. Have you seen those in person yet?
Mm-mm. Which ones are those?
The
Oh, okay, that's the black one. I saw someone posted on YouTube or whatever. The quality looks good.
I like those. Hopefully, I got a pair on the way. Them joints is nice.
I have not seen a too low sellout in a minute though. I'm gonna be real.
Well, I think this 2023 is where two lows are coming out because they didn't drop any two lows last year, right?
They did. What was it? The Titan one was kind of cool.
The Titan one was all right. Oh, there was a Titan one, and then there was another one. Selfie.
Something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, it's like a company in New York, a brand. I have another sneaker one collab from one of theirs. What else, George?
Air Jordan 3 Mars Stone. Looks like that might also only be a kid's shoe, although I'm not 100%.
It's a kid's shoe.
Bad Bunny Campus Moon. Adidas collab.
I like those.
I like those too. Ruby had sent me a picture of him a long time ago, and then she sent me a picture of him wearing them courtside at the Lakers game, and I was like, okay, they're not too bad. I thought they were going to be a little too fat.
Well, I think compared to the Forum, it's way skinnier.
It's way more minimal.
I actually like the Forum a lot better, honestly.
I like the Forum a lot more now than I did originally. When the first colorways came out, I was like,
I mean, I don't know if you've seen market on them shoot up like crazy.
I don't know. I mean, it's a Bad Bunny thing. It has to be.
No, 100%.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know how popular he was, but like, Lord have mercy.
Oh, man.
Off-white Air Force One pine green hiking boots with the spikes so you can rock climb mountains.
Is February this week?
February 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't know they would come out with another green in there. I didn't know they'd come out with another Air Force One like that.
Oh, wait. Maybe maybe that's next week. January 31st maybe is the last day.
Probably.
Right, that'll be next
you
week's
see
show.
these?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know these were coming out again.
They suck.
Jorge did an early look on them, and
oh, really?
they look good. I mean,
those are offensive lineman shoes.
Yeah. I think the turf kills it.
If you play for Marshall, you can wear them.
Marshall.
They're
okay.
Those spikes kill it, man.
Yeah, like I really tried to give the other ones, the black and the white pair, a shot. I tried, and I was like, these suck.
We had to sell them for under retail.
Really?
It's almost. Have you seen the box?
Nah.
Man, it's like I don't know. It's almost like 3 feet by 3 feet. It's
that big?
It's like an actual brick.
Oh, really?
It's
I'm trying to see that joint.
It's worth not even having, honestly.
Like I said, George.
Yep.
Like I said, I appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, share this podcast. We got the homie, the owner of Rerun. I guess I'll say the premier or the hottest sneaker shop in Arizona.
Yes, sir.
The homie Wilson. We'll talk Rerun a little bit. Starting Rerun, how'd you start that up? How'd you get that going?
Oh, man, I don't know how far back you want me to go, but
I mean, whatever you want to tell us.
I mean, let's say, all right, so I've been doing the sneaker thing for a little bit. So even before, a lot of people know me from the other store that I worked at. I worked at Wang's Closet before this.
Oh, really? Okay.
But before that, I actually, I worked at Shoe Palace. So I went through, like, I saw everyone, like Pound for Pound, Soul Assassin. Like, I was helping people get their pairs. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like, I went through everything.
Right.
So, when I went to Wang's, like, that was when they were known as a vintage store. They weren't selling, like, shoes or anything. They had some Supreme. This one, Supreme was, popping. That was, like, what their bread and butter was, and just old Levi's. So, I introduced the whole concept of, let's bring some hype sneakers in. And that was when, like, I want to say like Royals, Breads, Black and White OGs, Chameleons, 750s, the original 350s. That's when they were all popping. Was there for, a long time. He'll build it out to what it is right now. But me and one of my boys, his name's Al. He's the other owner of Rerun. So it's me and him. We were there for a little bit, and we were just doing a lot of work over there. So, wanted to branch out, do our own thing. And, we had the expertise. We already had firsthand experience on what to do.
Would y'all start out doing like online first, or like just with the homies, or y'all just went straight to store?
Nah, like that's the thing. Like, because we opened like peak COVID. I just graduated with my biochemistry degree.
Somebody told me you had a biochemistry degree, and I was like, what?
Yeah. So that's the thing. I actually went to school to be a doctor.
Right.
And peak COVID, I had a decision to make. Do I go to med school or pretty much do this, like open up my store? And it was like that was, during COVID. It's like you get to see everyone who like people wasn't listening. You ain't putting masks. Everyone's getting overworked.
Right.
I'm like, man, I don't want to do something where I'm not appreciated like that.
Right.
Let me do the sneaker thing. And if it don't work out, I'll go back to med school, whatever, right?
So why'd y'all decide to do straight to store? Straight to store seems to be like, it seems like every reseller starts with social media, online, and then they begin to build up a little something, and their like aspiration and dreams is to go to store. Like store is a hard thing, and your guys' store, I've never been because I don't usually go past.
Yeah,
I don't go past a certain distance, but it looks freaking beautiful. Yeah, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. It ain't just like, everybody starts a little hole in the wall and they got little things on the wall. Like you went straight for the gusto. Like,
and that's the thing, like we don't like doing anything like half, Like if we're gonna do something, we want to be the best.
Right.
Even when we opened up, like I look back at it, I'm like, I wasn't happy with this, like, and even now, like whatever, I could have whatever, but there's still levels that I want to achieve. Right. But the thing is, like, I was doing business with pretty much everyone in Arizona for a fat minute. Like I damn near think I talked to like 70% of every sneakerhead in this community. Whether I did a deal with them, trade, bought something from them. We were crazy even on OfferUp, like OfferUp, Craigslist. Like we were buying whatever. So a lot of people already knew who we were just with the amount of deals and businesses that we did. And, my Instagram helped a lot too. Like, I would just be posting all the new releases on feeds or whatever. So I had a pretty decent following with that too. And so, and me and Al, we did most of the buying at Wang's. So whatever customers, they saw us. Right. Like, they're like, oh, I want to follow these two dudes that, they hooked me up or whatever. They're the ones who cashed me out. Like, I like how they do their business. And that's always been like our bread and butter. Like we've always done solid business. Like, I might not give you the cheapest price, but like, people liked how we did business, like how fast we are with shipping, whatever. Like we're A1. We're on top of everything.
So did y'all have to build up inventory before y'all started the store process, or did y'all do it at the exact same time?
No, we didn't. We understood the whole, like, we wanted our store to be liquid, because if you look at it nowadays, a lot of stores have a lot of fluff. You don't want inventory that is gonna sit.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that question too about how do you control inventory, especially with like trends changing. Sneakerheads are probably some of the most moodiest people.
And that's the thing. It's gonna come down to you to know what's gonna, pop off. Even like when you buy early sneakers, like you gotta know, like, oh, I know girls are gonna like this. I know dudes are gonna like this. Like, you gotta be ahead of the curve. Like, you never want to be that dude that gets a release like 2-3 months after everyone else already got it. Right. Being early is the best. Like, let's be real. Like, there's, like Private Selection. They're known as the early birds. Like, but the price is a different thing. But if you have stuff early and you have it priced accordingly to probably what it'd be when it comes out, man, you got a killer combo right there.
So what's priced accordingly? Because usually I see a lot of people have stuff that's out early, and like obviously it seems like the template.
Hold on a second. Before you go there, let's just ask the question about, since you brought up private selection, where does the consumer confidence come from that what they have is legitimate that early? Is there a way that, that you know?
Well, the people they buy it from, I know also personally. So like I know a lot of the stuff is legit. And they get the backing of Complex or whatever. You get these big companies to post you, like
right.
No one's even about it. Like even with the orange lobster thing, like people lost their minds.
Right.
They're like black bands, blue bands, or whatever. But there's when you're an owner, there's a certain group of people that always have stuff early or whatever. We pretty much know all the same people. We try not to. We have the opportunity to buy stuff like that early or whatever, right? But I try not to do that because you essentially alienate your customer by pricing this at $1,000 when when it comes out it's going to be $250.
Right.
There's some things you got to pick and choose with what you want early. The Zions, I think when those come out, I saw them in hand. I'm like, dude, this shoe is absolutely fire. I know my margin and what I could put it at.
You talking about the Jordan 1 Low?
Jordan 1 Lows.
Okay.
And I'm like, I know what I could price this at, and I know what I can make on it to where people aren't really gonna trip. But if I got, I could have bought those UNC 5s early, right? 400-ish bucks or whatever. You get them like 6 months early.
Right.
But come on, we all know a Retro 5, UNC, whatever.
Right.
It's gonna be 220, maybe even 180 when it comes out.
Right.
You don't want to spend your money on that, like.
Okay.
So you pick and choose with what you want.
So, like, when you saw that Zion in hand, you really thought...
I knew it was going to hit.
Really?
100%.
Okay. I've never seen one in hand. To me,
really?
the shoe was awful.
Oh,
it looks ridiculous to me. But I've seen way too many people talk about how it should have been considered sneaker of the year. It's that fire. It's this and that. I'm
dude,
like,
the details on it are super nice. Like, it's been a while since a Jordan 1 Low has that many details. And that's the thing. Like, when they went down to 200, we bought like 50, 100 pairs of them just because we knew, like, they're going to shoot right back up.
I look at those joints and I'm like, it's like shoes for orphans. I was like, they look raggedy. Like
it's a shoe you really got to see in person, honestly.
So then, I mean, I guess you sort of answered that question with that because, like I said, one thing that does a lot of, that makes Rerun very attractive is like seeing stuff a little bit earlier than usual. I think one of the shoes that like a lot of people, at least us, were kind of like on the fence about was like, at least I was on the fence from. I think they're fire. I don't think George likes them. Was the Chinese New Year Jordan 1 Lows.
Yeah.
And I think you had those early.
Yeah, so some people are going to be mad at me, but I thought they were all right.
They're fire to me.
So, okay, they're a little underwhelming. Quality is fire, don't get me wrong. But it's one of those shoes where it's that super ashy suede. So, like...
See, I like that.
But look, every picture you see... The brown is super like vibrant,
right.
Whatever. But in person, it's really dull.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, it's a nice shoe. Don't get me wrong. But I still think the year of the ox, that Chinese New Year?
Right.
I think that one like absolutely killed it as far as Chinese New Year shoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was one of the ones I was like, man, this guy got everything. Them joints are super clean.
Yeah, no, but the boxes. A lot of people said the box is better than the shoe. Like that box is nice.
So one question I do want to ask you, which I have never asked anybody, and I haven't seen anybody. I mean, I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't watch a lot of people and stuff like that, or listen to other shows. Really, I haven't really heard anybody talk about Yeezys in their store. Basically, ever since his 2022 media
frenzy
tour or whatever it was. Have you seen a change in Yeezys in sales in your store?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
No, honestly, no one cares.
Okay, so people still buying up Yeezys.
They're still buying. If anything, Yeezy slides sell a little bit more now because they know it's not coming back out. Like, so once it gets to that point where this Yeezy slide is 300, 400 plus, that's probably when we'll stop taking it in because no one wants to pay that much for a slide. Like, let's be real. But right now, it's like they could still be like 200, 250, and people don't mind spending that on. And we live in Arizona. Everyone's in slides.
Right.
So, honestly, Yeezy market's been the same. A lot of people.
50 still selling?
Yeah, like the good colorways. We don't try to pick up like
I pay attention to you guys' page a lot. Like it comes up on my feed a whole lot, and you guys I haven't seen post a lot of Yeezys and stuff lately.
Well, yeah. The thing is, Yeezys is one of those things where it's like we don't post it. We always have it in stock. Like we'll post it on the story or whatever, but it doesn't garner any attention when you post it on the page or whatever because it's a Yeezy. We've seen it like a million times, so no one has that attention span to go like it or whatever. So we just always have it in stock. Like the good colorways, breads, red stripes, even the dazzling blues. But honestly, market hasn't really changed on it.
See, I thought maybe since you guys didn't post that much on the page that y'all not taking them anymore or don't have the stock anymore.
As long as it's a good colorway, like anything black easy always hits. Like,
so how do y'all control that inventory? Like you brought up inventory. So like I'll say like when like Black Panda Dunks came out, resale shops was loading up on them. Them joints have re-released about 5-6 times. I don't know how many times now.
And demand has not dropped one bit. If anything, like it was a lot harder to get them. You know what's funny? When we first opened up the store, we had the pandas early before they even dropped, and we were selling for $250. And people thought that was crazy. $250.
Yeah, I did too. It was insane.
And I was like, honestly, it's a clean shoe, and everyone was on the dunk wave, so I knew it was gonna hit.
Right.
But when they actually came out, market was absolutely crazy on it, and we were at one point we had to sell pandas for $400 because we had to pay almost $250, $270 to even get them in.
Good God!
So, and it's nice that they're releasing them like so often because we can now drop the price, and obviously it's not $400 anymore, but we sell them for like $250, $280. It's a little bit more reasonable, but the demand is there. I think in December we sold probably like 300, 400 pairs of pandas.
Good God.
Yeah, just in December alone.
You guys have had that many pairs come through there?
Oh, we've had for sure over 1,000.
The biggest part of your business then is bulk buying from other businesses, not from people bringing consignments and or
we do both.
in.
So we do both. We don't do consignment just because, I'm sure you've heard the stories with consignment right now. It's getting rough.
Like what?
So I don't know if you know. Whatever, like Cookies and Kicks.
Oh yeah,
LA Cats.
Now it's like my homie. I know the owner of Band LA, and he's got his name put out there too. So it's like I hope he gets his stuff figured out. But that's one of the biggest stores in LA. So when you hear that from someone like Band LA, they got some trouble paying their consigners. That gets worrisome because consignment is, that's someone else's money. Yeah, you have it with you, but it's on you to pay them accordingly. Well, I was gonna say even JC, Urban even had a point where they were 2-3 months late on consignor payouts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, obviously, we talked about pound for pound and stuff like that, Soul Assassin, all them, you know what I mean? And, we all know and have stories of what took place there and, and whatnot. But, it's such a crazy time to think about back then. Because, I always said this, and like I said, when you talked about your sneaker collection, I always thought you, or we've had, Charles from Legend, we've had other people that have shops. I just think they just got thousands of sneakers, everywhere and stuff like that. Because I know me. It'd be really hard for me to see so much stuff come in and not want it for myself. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of that happened with Pound for Pound and some of these other stores and stuff. You come across a Yeezy too and stuff like that. It's these hard things you can't get rid of or sell. You pull some fishy stuff here and there. Having a business like yours, how do you guys control what you keep and what goes out to the public?
For the most part, there's we always in our heads we keep in mind that the shop has to eat first.
Right.
So if the orange lobster comes out right that day or whatever, right? We won't take it in for ourselves because we know whatever money we make having it that first day, we'll get it back on whatever back end later on.
Right.
And nowadays it's the more you wait, you're going to get a better price on it later on. If I buy something the first day, I know I'm paying top dollar for it, right?
Right.
So you just have to learn to control what you want and like what you absolutely need. There's some shoes where it's like, I think like the Travis Phantom or whatever, we all were like, damn, I want this shoe. It's clean or whatever.
Way better in person. A lot of people got to see it in hand to see it. That all black, because I'm not an all black sneaker person. Look.
It's so easy to put on. It looks good.
I saw them in hand. My nephew had got them for Christmas, and I was like, God, these joints is nice. Little bandanas, and it's a lot of nice touches on it. You're like, man, these joints is clean. But yeah, like things like that, I always like, man, they come in the shop and you get a hand on them, like, man, all right.
And we have to really understand that, like, we see this stuff every day. Like,
right.
We don't need it. Like, honestly, like everyone that knows me, they know I'm in slides, like,
right,
more often than I'm in shoes.
Right.
Just because I'm always doing something. I don't have time to like lace up my whatever,
Right.
So for the most part, like, if we've always had it in our mind, like if we get something for a good price, it always goes out for a good price. We try not to, price gouge too much. There's some things obviously you have to, but like we never try to be greedy with, if I got this for a steal, I'm gonna keep it for myself.
Right.
If I can make a few bucks on it and someone's gonna be happy, like, we'll do that. Like we had those those Red Lobsters for $350.
Oh yeah, I saw them. What size was that?
11.5.
It was 11.5. I remember I sent it to Rico. I think Rico was like a 10.5, something like that. I sent it to him. They were a little bit rough, but
for
you don't come across
a
pair of Red Lobsters often. Did it have a box?
No box, but
I was like, man, I was sitting there thinking to myself, if these were 9.5, would I have bought these? Because they were rough,
but it's a nice beater,
Right. It's not a bad sneaker to have, you know what I mean? And part of me was like, man, I got a feeling Red Lobster's gonna come out again one day, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, man, I just threw $350 on them. But did they sell? Somebody bought them?
Oh, they bought them in like 5 minutes. Like, that's someone's grail, That's someone's grail they're about to get for $350. Like,
so what's like some of like the ups and downs of like having the shop? Like maybe probably more the downs, like,
oh man, the downs would probably be you can't make everyone happy. You you can try to be friends with everyone, but end of the day, business is business, and a lot of people don't realize like this is our livelihood. This is how we have to, pay our bills.
Right.
Pay our employees, pay electricity or whatever. And I think one of my favorite arguments that I have is why stuff doesn't get priced to whatever, like, let's say lowest ask is, right?
Right.
I think that's like
on StockX. Right?
Yeah.
That's like the template for everybody.
That's like, I think everyone always gets that question. Like if you own a store, like why, like it's 500 on StockX. Why is yours not at 500? You can do the explanation where it's like, all right, it's 650 after fees and tax or whatever, and then blah blah blah, right? Okay, that's why it's not 500. But another aspect that a lot of people don't understand is, I'll give you the Panda for example, right? Let's say lowest gas was 180, right? For us to buy it, if I offered someone 140 or whatever, I could price it at whatever 220 or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, this person wants 180.
Right. And
it's a shoe that moves at 280. I'd be dumb to not take it at that. So if everyone in the world was, it's kumbaya or whatever and gave it to me for a great price, I could put it at great prices. But the reality of the situation is market is 180. It's a shoe that moves for 280. No matter what, I have to pay 180, and this is where I make my markup on it.
Right.
So I think there's a disconnect between a lot of people and shops and like not understanding like why stuff is priced a certain way. And another great thing is the whole 2-week time frame or whatever you buy on StockX or GOAT. How much is your time worth? That's like one of my favorite responses,
Right.
If your time is worth the extra $50, $100, this shoe is perfectly great for you, Like you buy it right now, you get to throw it on, put it on the club, whatever, you're happy. A lot of people can, they want to save that $50. Cool. I have no problem with people buying it on StockX or GOAT because, you can wait that, but the next person, he doesn't want to wait. He wants it right now.
There's a lot of people that are like that. Like, I'd be more surprised at like how many
That's
older.
human nature.
I mean, it's human nature, but I'd be more surprised at like how many older sneakerheads are like that. Like, I see a lot like, maybe for me, like if stuff takes a little longer to get, I'm more concerned with like, hey man, it's coming, right? I could care less if it take a week or it take a month. As long as, hey man, if it's not coming, you get my money back, right? That's all I care about. Yeah. But I'd be shocked at seeing people like, yo, it's been 8.5 days in sneakers app. I'm like, fam, like,
you got it for retail.
You got it from Nike. Look, I've had stuff, and this is recently. Like I got my ASU dunks from sneakers. It took about 3 weeks. Like I ain't never had that long from sneakers. Now
they definitely don't do free 2-day shipping no more.
Yeah, and they sent the email like they still sent the emails like, hey buddy, still working on it. They sent that, and I was cool with it because you know what, it's from Nike. Like push comes to shove, hey, cancel that joint. Like I'm good. Like whatever.
They're banning people for canceling stuff too much now.
I know. I did when they had put that out there, and I was like, man, that's crazy. And you just tested your app today and canceled, so you probably banned again.
My account already was banned, so it's not like I'm missing anything.
They said got him again. They said we knew he'd do it.
They put the screenshot with my picture.
That lost and found with the mold thing was absolutely crazy too. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't even know how that many pairs even get out like that. Like.
I mean, it's all them shipping containers and stuff like that, like moisture. Like, who knows how that stuff happens? Like, it's crazy.
A lot of people don't know that green sticker you see in the boxes, that's for mold.
Oh, yeah. I had read about that. Like, you see on the side of the box, a little neon green looking.
Yeah, so, and the thing is, like, that's also another way to spot fakes and stuff because, like, these fake factories, they don't, it's not the real thing. So, like, It's either the green is too bright, too dark.
So, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
So, I've been talking about last few weeks, especially, like, with cats that do videos, like, side-by-sides and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I started telling people, because this cat, I've been posting his videos. He's been doing side-by-sides, and I've been saying, this cat endorsed fakes. I've only been saying that because the side-by-sides are worthless. Mm-hmm. Now, you had posted a picture a while ago of 2 Zions, and you said, guess which one's a fake? One was clearly fake.
Yeah.
A lot of people post those ones like, guess the fake, because it's really hard to guess.
Yeah.
That's what makes the question the question. It's like, in the interaction you get on social media. This guy posts 2 orange lobsters. He pulls them side by side, put them together. First thing he said, if you notice that these laces, the extra laces are tied this way. On this one, they're tied this. I'm like, so that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Then he said, you take the sole out. It's a little bit darker than the other. That doesn't matter. The bottom of the shoe is darker than light. That doesn't matter. He's explaining all these aspects of the shoe that, like, we're not used to seeing with fakes on, like, what identifies it as fake immediately.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the swooshes on the fake is leather instead of suede, like, things like that. Fakes come in the store all the time, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, we see
in person, like...
In person,
I would imagine some people probably don't even know what they got.
Some people don't, 100%, and then some people do, and, we can see them out pretty easily, but for the most part, like, you could, like, if you have it in hand, you could tell when it's a fake. Like, I'd say the best fakes are the stuff that's super in demand. Like, the best fakes is going to be Travis Fragment Lows.
Mocha ones.
Like when the Travis Highs first came out, man, there was probably like 20 or 30 versions of the highs. Like they were just pumping them out, trying to get them out. And like, we saw the gradual increase on how better they were getting, you know, and that was crazy. But like, with this kind of stuff, you always have to be learning about, like, one of the best ways to see, or like one of the easiest ways to tell is like on that YCM sticker, there's like lines that run through it.
Okay.
And
yeah, but but that's another thing that like somebody wearing it on foot,
they're not gonna know, like,
right.
But that's one of the, I guess that's one of the jobs is like if you have a shoe store and you don't know how to tell the difference, you should not have a shoe store. 100%. Like I'll stand on that. Like, and the thing is, like, they get good, but it's your job to know.
So have you come across some that, like, you just couldn't tell, so you had to reject it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, where it was like, you couldn't say it was fake and you couldn't say it was authentic. Hey, man, for me to protect myself, I'm just going to have to say, no, I'm not taking this.
So, like, I want to say, like, 99% of the times, like, we'll know and, we'll educate them if they want it. There's going to be people that will die on it and say, no, these are real. I got these from StockX. Cool, show me the receipt. They don't even, like,
right.
Whatever. Like, it is what it is. But we always say, this is our opinion. If you can take it, if you want to, you could go to another store for a second opinion, blah blah blah. But for the most part, like, we try to give someone enough like information to to know if it's real or not. Like we have enough knowledge to know that something is off about this.
So do you feel like a lot of times there's cats that like they got scammed and don't know it, or are they trying to pull a fast one on you?
We see both, honestly.
Oh, okay.
We see both, and like we'll have the little teenager kid who's shaking coming in, like I got this Travis, I want $800 for it, like
shaking.
Like we can tell when someone like
sweating bullets.
Yeah, like you're like, all right, like
cat gotta wear a wire.
Yeah, I haven't seen this colorway before, but you know Travis personally? Okay, cool. Like like we get that,
Come
but then
in with purple fours, like
but then we'll get the mom who went to Yeezy.com, bought this for her son, like, and my son can't fit this anymore or whatever. I want to be like, oh man, this is fake, blah blah blah. Like, we'll get that. We have legitimate people who want to know, who want to get educated, because I'm a super opponent of the reps or whatever, because it's like, I own a shoe store. I'm going to promote real stuff. But like, another thing I think a lot of people don't understand is, your fakes hold no value,
Right.
Even if you spend $200 for a Travis when it's $1,000, you lost $200 no matter what. Like, unless you scam some other kid for whatever.
Right.
Or if you wear it. I mean, it has some utility if you're just fine just wearing
Sure,
it.
if you wear it, cool, all power to you. But like, once you get to that point where you're trying to resell it, or, you scam some other kid, and that shoe essentially holds no value unless, you actually scam someone, right?
Right.
At least if you have a real shoe, whatever you bought for $1,000, and even if you didn't wear it or whatever, you get like majority of your money back, as long as you didn't make a dumb decision, you know? Like, that's what I say. Like, always wear real stuff if you can. Like, and if, you want to wear fakes because you just want to, go ahead, but don't wear fakes to try to pass it as real,
Right. And
go buy a pair of real Vans or something.
And so that's the thing too with like, the Travises. You get a pair for brand new. Let's say you spend $800 on your pair of Travis. Say $800 and you wore them joints to the ground. You can still kind of get $350.
Yeah, you'll get some
you can still get
money out of
for
it.
So let me ask you this, which has been like a topic on the podcast for a while and just amongst a lot of people, is just how different resale has been lately. Like, I gotta tell you this right now, like, every once in a while you go on StockX, you're going to go and when we did like our 2022 sneakers of the year, we always got to go to StockX or go I look at the prices and I go, dang, that's it? That's all they going for now? Like, a lot of that. Has that affected you guys a little bit, or have you noticed that change in having to bring that resale down?
So, like, I was part of that, I guess the time, like, I feel old, but like that time where, StockX Go wasn't a thing. Like, it was all whatever you set your market.
Yeah.
Facebook groups.
That.
I'm super into the Facebook groups, like MSX, Band LA, all that stuff. Right. You pretty much set your own market.
Yep.
Back then it was like whatever Jordan 3 came out, it's always usually $50 or $100 over. Like, that's what it was. No matter how ugly the colorway, that's just kind of how the market was.
Well, like, that's the thing I was telling somebody else. Like, they can't believe like we talk back to like we had like Joker 3s. Like, we were selling them joints sold like ugly. 400 or something.
Ugly,
like,
yeah.
We were selling what them 13s we copped? He Got Games? Remember how many He Got Games we had?
Oh yeah.
We sold over 350. Man, we was
more than that.
Man, we was getting rid of stuff for and you had no choice.
Yeah.
If you really wanted it back then, you had no choice.
I think like, what was it, like shattered backboards and 1.0s? I got those for 350, and that was like, that's on the high end.
That's high
because back then the Super Grail was 2001 Royals or Breads, because Kanye wore them, whatever. That was always 800, 1,000. Now it's like, you could find some pairs for 250, 350 on eBay because they're beat or whatever. But like now, we have to always keep in mind, now there's a market, like, I can't just price this Panda Dunk at $1,000 if that's what I think it could sell for, like I have to be realistic in what I price stuff and what someone is willing to pay for it. Some shoes are hard to get, and people know that, if I'm buying a Zion, like I'm paying high. If I'm buying Orange Lobster, I'm paying high.
Right.
Like, I have to price that accordingly to where I make money and, whatever. Like, if market on the lobster is 500, I'm pretty much close to 500 for someone who wants to come sell it to me.
Right.
Like, no kid, like, let's be real. No kid is going to be like, I can't be like, I'll give you 380 for it, right? He's going to laugh in my face and going to take it to the next resale shop.
Right.
That'll give him 500 because that's a shoe that'll sell for 700, and that's what it is. So StockX gives you a nice template, but end of the day, you have to decide on what you can mark up and what you have to match accordingly. The taxi ones or whatever, I'm pretty much at lowest ask for whenever I sell them at the store, because that's a shoe someone doesn't mind. I'll buy it on StockX right now. That's not someone going crazy like, I need the shoe right now.
So then, what is your thought on that? Because we keep talking about like all these Jordan, all these like specific sneakers that like a taxi, a Starfish, the woman's one. These are legit sneakers that I know for a fact.
Back in the day, they would be 350.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
they'd be unattainable grails,
Trust
legendary.
me, I like every day I see whatever release, even those True Blue ones. Like back in the day, that would have been a pretty decent shoe. Like now, it's like it's gonna be at retail.
100%.
Well, yeah, we pretty much saw it. What was the one that came out? The one that I said that I like. It's like cowboy colorways.
The True Blue one.
The True Blue ones.
It was the True Blue ones.
No, not that came out this year. The one that came out a couple years ago that looked almost exactly like it. The blue, just a different color. It's like color block slightly different. Kind of looks like Cowboys stuff. I said it was like underrated or something on the
Marina?
show 2-3 years ago.
Oh, Marina
Blues?
Blues.
Highs. We had them, right?
They're black
I
and
think
blue.
you had them.
Yeah, they're black and blue though, right? Yeah, the Marinas.
No, not Marina. Way before that.
Japan's?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You never know.
Fam, you don't know. That's the problem. We play these guessing games all day.
But it's
That means we both don't know.
It's super weird that like ones like that's a shoe that we held as grails back in the day. Like for them to be under retail, like I can't believe it. Like
now, as a resale shop owner who's seen it all, you've been at Wings, you've been at Shoe Pal. Look, there are specific people in Arizona who've been a part of the culture. Like me and George have been a part of the culture outside camping forever. Like you've been a part of it, talking about it forever. Where it's at right now, do you see it going back up? Because I don't. George is like, no, it's going to go back up. That's how it works. I just don't see it happening. I don't see ones.
Man, just economics in general is
are
cyclical.
you talking about ones in general or just sneakers in general?
Let's start with ones.
Okay. I believe it's going to go back up because it's trends and fads.
He also has to believe that because he owns a
right.
store.
No,
still.
but look.
I'm not throwing you under the bus.
No, I get what you're saying.
Like,
I get what you're saying. But
I'm not saying you're not being honest. I'm saying you have to believe that because you're still in that business.
But you know what it is? Like when you're in this,
you're pot committed. In other words,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but at the end of the day, in this type of business, it's about how you adapt.
Yeah.
Because even let's say ones never go back to what they were, right?
Fam,
cool.
We talked about it last week. Like Nike Jordan brand can just
axe it.
Yeah, you can limit supply. This is how economics works.
Yeah, supply demand. Yeah.
You limit supply, the demand goes up, you create fake demand, and then guess what? You have the same hype all over.
100%.
Now hold on. My argument against that is you're 100% right. We've all seen it many times happen. It can happen many more times. For me, I legit think that sneaker aficionados, sneakerheads, sneaker collectors, honestly are now looking at specific shoes, a Jordan 1, and going, you know what? I love them still, but they've run their course.
So
I'm talking, you would have to stop a Jordan 1. For me to like lose my mind, you'd have to stop a Jordan 1 for about 5 years.
Yeah.
By that time.
Look, but what they did is smart. Instead of putting the hype behind the one highs, it's behind the one lows.
Is it?
Dude, we sell so many one lows.
Okay, but corals and stuff, to me, have their price is low.
Yeah, they're low, but they still sell for pretty decent, like $220, $250. Even if their market is $150, they sell for $220, $250 because it's the same with, I think Dunks is really what kind of killed the Jordan 1 high because everyone wants that low cut, whatever. So what do you move on to? So you keep your Jordan 1 model, but now you do the low. That's why you got the Zions. That's why you got the the Year of the Rabbits. You know, there's some fire low colorways. You know, the Starfish.
Hold on, you got any Year of the Rabbits yet?
I already I'm sold out on them right now.
Hey, he dying for him.
If you get a 12, let me know.
All right. Right now, market
I'm
is
dead serious.
Market is stupid high on it.
I was gonna ask. Oh, I'm sure it is, but I was gonna ask you. Like, we can wait till the end of the show. But I was gonna ask you if you got like personal IG, because I'm gonna send you some pictures of like SBs if you want me to bring them in. Here you go.
We'll work something now, but
yeah, here you go.
But that's the thing right now. Even with the Year of the Rabbits, it's an international release. People don't even have them in hand yet. Like they technically released Saturday, but you know they all have different policies. Whatever they're shipping them out to whatever, so people will probably get them in hand later this week or even early next week. So right now, market is through the roof.
What do you see that one topping at? 5,000 pairs. What was that top at?
Oh,
because that one is so much fire. There are like certain ones that like I feel like sneakers are at a. Oh, I got those.
I said you have them.
Oh,
it's literally what I just said.
What are those called?
Royal Toes.
Royal Toes.
Yeah,
so I said Royal Toe prices without like. Anyway, I'm trying to cut you off.
No, you're
but
good.
Like,
you're good.
Royal Toe prices were low the year we did that. Whatever this year was, 2019, 2020. Whenever we did the like. Shoes of the year, I put it on underrated because the prices were low, and all three of y'all were like, "Those aren't underrated; they're Supreme Flames."
Yeah, because they're tight.
Fam,
it's a different view.
I understand that, but like, so that right there is proof of the one that you're talking about right now. Like, so, even then, like I think those sat in a couple sizes at House of Hoops. Like I saw them on the shelf when I went, not my size, but when I went in there.
Oh yeah, they were in there.
I think what it was with the core purple, and then that released pretty back to back. So it was like
Pine
a lot of people.
Greens or something.
Yeah, so people got burnt out, but you know.
So with the Year of the Rabbits, what do you think they're gonna top at? Because like I said, like with how we're buying now, like it may sound crazy, and I said this on a couple episodes ago. If I'm not paying really high or really low, I don't have a drive for like retail seems crazy to me now. I don't go anywhere hardly. I went to the mall. I'm walking through the mall, just walking by myself. And I'm just like, let me go into a Foot Locker. And I go in there and I'm like, Jordan 7 Cardinals, beautiful. 215, 220, whatever it was. I almost lost my mind. Now, in my mind, I'm like, oh man, for a Year of the Rabbit, I'll probably throw about 5 for that one.
Yeah. It's I mean, you know, it's personal choice, but you know.
You guys probably aren't moving a lot of like 7s, 6s, 8s and stuff like that. You move in 1s and 4s.
That's the thing.
And
We don't
right?
really carry 7s, 6s, 8s. Not
it's like anything else.
No 9s, 10s. Like
awful 9s and 10s are just.
I'm sure the 3s, the like remastered 3, you'll get plenty of those.
Yeah, we had a few early already, and they sold for $600. Like, it's solid. And honestly, that's a great shoe. When you see them in hand, that's a shoe.
Yeah,
it'll probably be like $400 when they come out, but that's a really nice shoe.
Look at what what are they called? Chicago Toes. What's the
Lost and Found?
Lost and Found. Look at where those already are up 100 from.
I personally love them. I like them more than my 15. Honestly,
Lost and Found is the greatest retro of all time to me.
Right. No, it's a fire. You know.
It didn't take, even with all the speculation of how many numbers and they might restock again, like resale already $100 over where it was, like in a short span.
And that'll lead me to, you know, where I think how they're gonna rebring the ones again. You see, they're trying to push this narrative of the Reimagined series.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, they're gonna give us. Well, I know a few colorways that, you know, that they already have planned. And
somebody said, I think Mr. Unloved once said the black toes were postponed, not the low.
Yeah, supposedly the black toes are going to be postponed, but they're going to bring back also, I believe, Royals in the OG format. Not OG cut, but like
the Lost and Found look?
No. Just like a normal Jordan 1. So they're giving us like a classic retro of it.
No thanks.
No
thanks. Don't do that. I don't know how many Royals we've had.
It doesn't matter. You're copying.
And that's the thing. Like
it's gonna show up in a big box.
Royals and Breads don't sell like how they used to anymore. Like
they don't.
We'll pass on them because they're expensive and they just sit. Like
I come across a pair of Royals or Breads every once in a while on Facebook or it's like IG somewhere like a stuff, and I'm like, that's all they want. Like
it's not.
Like, 380 ain't high for something.
But do the Bread one reimagined?
It makes sense for like. for your business, you almost want volume more than you want like
100%.
You'll take $200 shoes over one $2,000 shoe.
100%.
Yes,
you know,
and people don't realize that, man.
And the thing is, like, when we have these high end shoes, like whatever Off-White, Brooklyn or whatever, right? It doesn't do me. It doesn't hurt me to have that shoe because someone might trade me 5 or 6 shoes to get that Brooklyn, and I could sell all those at good prices, and I make more on top of that, and you essentially exponentially get more profit.
So how often do you guys take trades often?
Yeah, we do trades every day. We buy every day. Like we don't and that's the thing. Like a lot of places I see they're picky on when you want to do it. Us, it's 24/7. You got something I want, I'll buy it.
There's a lot of shops that like don't want to buy. They don't want to trade. They're like, nah, not today.
Look, if it makes sense, 100%. Right. The other day, I had a dude try to sell me an airbag for $28,000. I'm like, last sale was $23,000. This is a super expensive shoe. Like I'm never like. It's gonna sit for maybe 2 years. Like I'm good on that, you know.
Right.
You would have to sell that to me for like 10, 12,000 for me to be like, you know what, I don't mind holding on to this because I know I'm gonna make 8,000 on it or whatever, right? So
you're basically doing the same thing that people are seeing on the stores on YouTube's where you're like you have a trade price and a cash price and like same kind of thing.
The thing is, like you know, if I cash out on something, I'm obviously gonna give you more store credit,
right?
Because it's less of a risk for me, for you to get something else rather than for me to cash out, and that's economics 101. Like, you know,
that's how the card industry is too. I always talk about that kind of stuff. Same kind of thing. Like,
you know, with cars, it's like you save on the taxes. That's what you save on when you trade in something. People don't realize that. They'll get upset like, why don't I have more trade-in value? You save on the taxes.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm talking about like trading cards, but like still, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. But same thing. Like there's a Grail Collectibles or whatever. They're like the only car shop that I know that really.
Them cats buy from me sometimes.
So you know, just it's less risk, you know, and
they do the same thing that you guys do, just with a different genre,
different avenue. I mean? Yeah. So, like, we firmly believe in, you know, there's never gonna be a day where I don't want to buy or whatever. If it makes sense for me, like I will 100% do that. It's when people get upset that. Why do I not want to pay 100 over ask for this shoe because it doesn't make sense for me, you know? Like, and they'll be like, oh, they're not cashing out or whatever. But in reality, you're a little delusional with what you want.
Well, let me ask you this then, because you know anybody that I know who owns a resale business, and we ask them this question, and like just any resellers in general, they always pretty much say the exact same thing, that they don't care. Like, you know, how do you feel about how people feel about resellers and reselling? Because it just seems to be like, you know, it's funny. Like I told somebody,
I think that kind of the hate for that has gone away the last couple years.
It really has. And now I'm not gonna sit here and act like we're a part of that, but we're definitely a part of that.
The only time I remember people being upset was Chicago's that just came out. That's the only time I can remember there being animosity.
So, like Sneaker Detective and all them geeks would be like worried about people backdooring and all this stupid stuff like that. Like.
They're part. Look, sneaker resellers are part of the culture, and they have
Thank
been.
You very much. It really is.
They have been even back then. The thing is, now we have avenues to where you could see it, and that's the problem. Exactly.
People forget, like if you weren't on Nike Talk was legit like an underground cult. Like,
yeah, but you're talking to Foot Locker managers and stuff.
Yes, like people really forget like how underground sneakers used to be. Like, and I don't mean like sneakers themselves. I mean like the behind the scenes type stuff.
Yep.
Like there are people who are legit on social media who are as big as they are on social media because of like starting way back then. Like you see names of people like, oh, I remember that geek. Like he was on there way back then. Oh, shit, he got 800,000 followers. Look, I remember him, you know, during back then. Like people forget that. And I was talking to the homie JJ. He listens to the podcast, the homie. I talk to him all the time, so don't take offense. But like I told him, I said, you know, a lot of people need to really understand like when we say charge it to the game, let's play it out. Charge it to the game, man. Like you got to really understand the appreciation. And I'm not gonna say like this mass appreciation I have for resellers, but there are a lot of things that I never would have got my hands on if it wasn't for reselling sometimes. Like me and George was heavy on eBay and heavy on the streets. Like we have, Sneaker Valet was like one of the original OG bots. Like,
well, I think it was probably number 2.
It was like, you know, we was the Twitter RSVP, and we had that on lock.
Yeah.
Had it on lock, and it's just the way it was. And it wasn't the fact of like you're being greedy. It was that, you know what, you were supplying sneakers to people who either didn't want to put in the work, didn't mind it, or they only buy so many amount of pair of sneakers a year to where like, oh, $350 for a bread 13. Cool, because I only buy 3 a year.
At some point, all these people that get mad about stuff will realize that everything is just a business, and I don't mean a business.
Look, you're paying for the convenience. That's what it is.
100%.
And it's like, why do you pay this much to DoorDash? It's the same thing with the resellers, you know? Like you don't want to get out of your pajamas and go to Chipotle or whatever. You got a dude named Eddie bringing it to you.
Facts.
And you're giving him the convenience fee.
Facts.
Same thing with whatever reseller who's bringing it to you, you know? Like, what's different?
I've done that plenty of times where I looked at that fee like, wait a minute, I ordered a burrito, but $27. I don't care.
Hey, but it's cold. It's cold. You don't want to go get up.
I'm not getting off this couch. Like, I ain't turning the car on. Like, I ain't got time for stuff like this.
Look, resellers is what makes this community tick, honestly. And it's like, it's never gonna.
There's pros and cons. So like, you could also make the argument, just devil's advocate, you can make the con argument that sometimes the resellers create like the false bottom or the false ceiling or whatever. Like,
but I don't
something
mind that.
will sell and the price is not. That's not really the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And let me be careful when I say I don't mind that. I don't.
No. I'm saying it's what you have to deal with. You got ups and downs and everything.
Like, I said this, whatever, last episode, whatever, when I said that, like, once the hype and certain things, these things that people complain so much about die out, this podcast wouldn't exist if it wasn't for, like, hype and the build and the want and resellers and things like that. Once that stuff starts fading away and cats like, yo, this is how it should be. Everything's sitting in the store. Yo, this is how I like it. Fam, I got no motivation to come sitting here in this podcast to talk about this stuff that don't nobody legit care about.
It
like,
becomes uncool.
Because guess what? I could just go sit in my closet and do a 5-minute YouTube video on sneakers that day versus coming here and providing a 2-hour show every single week on sneakers because there's no really hype and drive for it. That's why there's so many sports podcasts. Like, that's why there's so many, like, self-help podcasts because, like, people are driven for they need it. They need it. You want to kill sneakers? You go ahead and try to kill sneakers and the hype and resellers and complain and Nike ain't did this and all. You go right ahead. But guess what? When you sitting there and, like, well, I don't care what nobody says.
Sneaker Farmer's Craig going up on social media tells you that it's not dead. I mean, that alone tells you. He probably don't know who Sneaker Farmer is, but I ain't calling him Detective no more.
No,
he's a farmer now. No?
Yeah, well, you call it Interaction Farmer.
Yeah. That's all
he's doing. For everybody listening to the podcast, if you know who the Sneaker Detective is, so we never said his name on here, he's now the Interaction Farmer.
Anyone on social media who just sitting there asking questions with the intent to get you to respond to that is just farming interactions. That's all they're doing.
It's just
and
like
they build up social media profiles. Don't give losers these interactions.
So this one cat just be on social media.
I mean, you probably know who he is. You just don't know who we say.
Oh, okay.
This cat,
I'm sure you know who he is.
Be like, yo, what do y'all think about the Jordan 1 Lost and Found? Is it really that fire? Stop. Like, you just trying to get somebody to be like, fam, what are you talking about? Fam, of course. Like, you just trying to build this goofy stuff. Like, I hate that. It's like when Cat started a podcast, you start seeing all these people like, yo, do the woman pay on the first date? All that goofy stuff. Like, man, shut up with that.
It's clickbait culture. That's really what it is.
Clickbait culture is what it is, and people build these profiles and stuff like that, like off of this nonsense. But anyways, man, like I said, man, like, reselling, it is what it is. You charge it to the game. It's part of the culture. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I'd like anything that comes out. I don't expect to get for retail, honestly. Like, and the thing that I always get flack for is like, man, if I get something on sneakers or Cowtown or whatever, I win a raffle. God knows how many people hit me up. Oh, they backdoored it to you. It's rigged. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, man, this is like my 40. I'm 49 for. Whatever 100 or
1 for
whatever
50.
like
yeah
like a crazy number, like, you know, people don't realize that, like, it's just like everyone thinks there's a loophole to get everything, you know, like you win a Manor raffle, oh, they're backdooring it to you, blah blah blah. Like, no, it's sitting there. That's what it is. Go up and go get it, you know. Like,
100%.
I mean, there is something to be said for building relationships in person, but with all that like online stuff,
look, we all know there's stores that backdoor. We all know the underground.
You build a relationship with somebody, and you put work in.
That's what it is. Like, I'm sure there's someone, you know, giving Super Bowl tickets for every release for the rest of the year. I guarantee you, there's something like that going on right now. Like, but that's what it is. It's really about who you know, not what you know. And
I definitely agree with it. And like I said, man, the culture is the culture. I like where the culture is. I don't care how crazy it is. I don't care how hard it is anymore. Like a lot of that stuff, like I make the decision for myself on whether I move forward or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, sometimes, it's like, I didn't wake up. Let me go see what's on there. Oh, it's only $35 more. It's $50 more. Like, what am I really?
You don't have to buy anything.
About?
It's your choice. Like,
I'm like, I sit there in that Starbucks line and I get a venti something and a loaf of bread and it'd be like $15. And I'm like, yeah. Like, it's, what I mean? It's just ridiculous things like that people worry about.
So, this has been, I'm not trying to make this sound like a revolutionary point because this has been talked about for years, but the fact that another release is happening next week and next week sneakerheads will already have moved on to that one and either been happy or mad about that one and totally forgot about the last one tells you they're totally fine with how things are.
We're in that, what is it? I think everyone's attention spans is
human nature.
Why do we like TikTok so much, Like,
it doesn't.
I don't have TikTok, the app.
Yeah, but like IG, the videos anyway. You watch some little 50, 30-second videos.
Nowadays, you can literally blow up and you could literally retire off TikTok if your business blows up on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, We live in such a weird culture that, like, people want to see crazy things. They want to see cool things. Like, everyone's attention span is small.
Fam, I don't even know how some of these people that have, like, the biggest things on YouTube, like the ones that have, like, 50 million subscribers or whatever, that stuff's not even interesting to me, some of it. I don't even know how they have the following they have.
You know what that stuff is, too?
It's so weird.
Like, I will say this, a lot of those people that, like, start on stuff early, you always wonder, like, man, how is this? Why? It's sort of like...
You talking about early adopter?
Yeah, it's sort of like when you watch a show and you don't watch 5 episodes, but I'm watching the rest. I'm already in here now. It's like them same cats. They just stuck in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, and look, I'm not saying I appreciate everybody who loves this podcast, but like, it amazes me how many people really care about this podcast and like DMs all day about stuff, whether it's just my opinion, my thoughts, send something funny. All the time. When I look at how many downloads every single week, I get an email and it says like how many downloads this week. Like right now we're at like 1,122,000. Like, and I'm like, holy crap! Like we actually started something, made something that people do care about. Now we do need to make some merch and stuff. Like we made a T-shirt, we made a couple hats before, or whatever. But we're not maybe capitalizing, taking advantage of that opportunity to the fullest. But that's the same thing with sneaker culture. It's the same thing with YouTube. It's the same thing with everything. You know what I mean? So. Anyways, George, you got any other questions, anything?
No, I don't think so.
Nothing?
I mean,
I appreciate you coming on, man, talking about that. You want to talk about a couple sneakers real quick?
I mean, I definitely need to get rid of some of them SBs.
Is there anything that you're
And by the way,
taking?
to be very clear, we know how business works. I'm an old man. I don't expect no favors or nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, that you helping me out would just be getting it out of my house. I mean, to be completely honest,
I'll give you the best advice. If I tell you just sell this on eBay, that's probably the best advice.
Oh, I'm sure. But I'm lazy, bro. That's what I'm asking you.
I want to ask you this too now because, JC Beardman from Urban Necessities, we asked him this question, right? Mm-hmm. And this was before dunks. SBs were just irrelevant. We're talking like you could catch yourself copping a Grail for cheap.
Yeah.
I remember we asked him, we said, what you not taking? Oh, we're not taking no SBs, no dunks, nothing like that. Is there anything that you're not taking right now that people will bring in that has the possibility of down the road coming back? Or do you feel
That's a good question.
Or do you feel like we're at where we're at? Because I never saw SBs coming back. I never saw dunks coming back. I think George did a few times.
The thing is with the SBs, I saw that because of who was promoting it, and that I think obviously everyone knows it's Travis.
Right.
If anyone says it's anyone different, they're lying to you. Travis is the one who brought back SBs, and that's why we call it the Travis effect.
Right.
Like he wears, what was it? It was like a pair of mocha something dunks or whatever. Like he posted a picture of him.
Newcastles?
No. Well, he did the Newcastles too. But it was just like I think before the Newcastles.
It was. I know
it was like a brown and white.
It was the brown white one. Yeah.
JC.
Yeah.
You talking about the one that he inspired him to make his shoe Trail In?
Maybe, but it was just like a brown and white SB dunk.
Right.
They were $300 for 10 years or whatever. He wears them now. They're at 1,000.
Yeah,
goes to
in.
2,000, whatever, right?
Right.
So it's like I can't really say like.
Because you said you ain't taking no Jordan 6s.
No, I'm not.
No
you know,
7s,
but
no
look,
9s.
if Bad Bunny decides to start wearing 6s, no matter how bulky they are to me, like and that's what people want. I adapt, and that's what I'm a sell. Like
right.
I can't really say the next thing. I personally think when highs are gonna come back. If anything, like they're gonna. I see the push with the whole Reimagine series, and I hear a lot with. They're gonna start cutting supplies in half for a lot of stuff too. So,
and I'm curious of what black toe lows are gonna do.
I think they'll be like starfishes. Start off kind of low in the beginning, and then it'll end up becoming a $300 shoe.
Start fresh lows.
I think so.
I was like, that's probably my biggest L of last year or the year before was like they were so low, and I was like, I'll get them later. Then I was like, oh well, they're like 210 now. I'll get them later. Then I was like, wait a minute, 250, 280. Like, okay, no, thank you. Like, I messed up on that one. Look, I need to buy corals ASAP.
Corals are low,
and I think that's the one thing that I will say, like for everybody right now with sneakers, like we're all identifying these sneakers that are like actually reasonably priced that we want and we think are fire, and we're still not copping them. And I think that's what's going to mess us up. It's like if you see something now that you're like, wait a minute, 180,
buy it. Like,
you better buy it now.
If you like it, buy it. Like a lot of people are waiting too much for nothing, honestly.
Right.
It's just and the thing is, like, there's a lot of fire dunk colorways that come out that I know a lot of people, they don't buy it right when it comes out, and then they regret. Like a UNC dunk should not be $500.
No.
So, but it is a Michigan State. In kid sizes, this is almost $800 for some sizes.
God, those vintage women's, the green, blue. You got any of those? Them is fire.
I actually have the navy, the vintage navy.
Them joints are fire.
I didn't like the Spartan green just with that shimmery.
It was
green,
a little shiny,
but they're doing what is it? They're doing like a vintage red one that's coming out.
Oh, really?
Too. Yep. So
I know them joints gonna be fully clean.
Yeah, so it's like buy it when you like it. Don't wait for the hype. Like the Zions went up like $200-300.
I just did not see that coming. Them joints.
You had to. That's a shoe you had to see in person. Honestly,
I gotta see that joint in person. Like I said, man, I appreciate you coming here talking about Rerun, man. Like I said, the hottest sneaker shop in Arizona right now. No plans for a second store?
Hey, we don't know, but we're gonna keep that title though. We're gonna keep that title. That's not changing anytime soon.
Okay, you can put that on the back of a shirt, man. Obviously,
hold on. I did think of something, not an important thing at all, but just might as well ask. So, did you grow up on the East Side? Is that why you decided Mesa?
No, I actually grew up in L.A.
Oh, okay.
I'm not from here,
okay.
but I've lived here long enough to where I'm from Arizona.
Yeah, when you move here,
I want to say like 15 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's about me. I mean, I came here in '99, so.
But you lived on the East Side, or business partners lived out there, or what was your decision?
What, like East Valley?
Yeah, to live in Mesa.
Yeah, that's a good question. Why Mesa?
So,
Mesa is a whack city.
That's the thing. So we're like central. So we're not deep Mesa, right?
All right.
So we're like in the border between Mesa and Tempe.
Okay. You're like in that safe zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mesa gets a bad rep or whatever, but we chose our location specifically because it was a strategic thing. You have every freeway intersecting by our plaza. Okay. So for us, it was a business type of thing. Like if you go up to Scottsdale or whatever, people from the East Valley, they don't want to drive up there.
Right.
You go all the way, central or whatever, people from the East Valley don't want to come here. People from Scottsdale don't want to come here, blah, blah, blah. You choose the most central location, whether you're in Scottsdale, Queen Creek, or Phoenix, you all got to drive 20 minutes to come to me, That was, why we chose our location.
Okay.
And also with Mesa, like, that's also in one of those cities where you get on it early, you're going to enjoy the benefits a lot later. Because Mesa, for real, it is really
changing and growing out there.
Dude, I think they just approved like $20 million for downtown or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Like, I found myself accidentally in that area a while ago, and I was like, this is a really nice bar over here. What is that?
You been to Mike's Pizza?
I've not been to
Mike's. Oh, you got to go to Mike's Pizza.
You guys need a...
business.
No, not that one. It's different. Mike, Mykes.
You guys need to check out
it's like right downtown.
If you guys are in downtown, you guys should check out Espiritu.
Espiritu Pizza?
You heard of Bacanora, right? You guys are in
Yeah,
Phoenix.
yeah.
So that's their sister store.
Oh, really?
So it's a bar and it's a restaurant.
Oh, where's it at?
It's literally in downtown Mesa.
They don't got the same kind of weight.
No, and that's the thing. That's a little hack. Everyone knows Bacanora was like number 8 restaurant in the country or whatever. So they book out in a month in advance. So just go to the sister store, same food and no wait.
Dang, gave us the hack.
A little hack.
I'm surprised Hannah didn't know that. Hannah finds all that stuff.
That's real. She has actual food page. Slacking.
Lacking.
We got some time to talk about Kobe 6's make NFL picks real quick. Kobe 6 reverse Grinch is coming out. Now look, how do Kobe's do in the store?
Kobe's do really well, honestly.
Okay.
And I'm from LA, so that to me that's like my favorite player. So
Of course.
even if they're bunking, I got 10 pairs of Grinches or whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't have one. He got some.
Listen, calling it reverse Grinch, I understand you think it's stupid.
Lame.
I'm fine with you with that take.
But
we are both attempting to cop, so it does not matter.
If they I'm saying it's okay if they release it in December. If they call it reverse Grinch and it's released in December, I'll give it a pass.
You know the first thing I saw when these came out, because I remember when Anthony Davis wore them for that Christmas
fire.
or whatever that was. They're fire, and honestly, I wish they would have stayed a Anthony Davis personal PE, PJ Tucker, whomever has them, whatever. Only because, like, to me, this solidifies my point on Kobe's not being as fire as they are. Like, the only Kobe's that's really recently released in the last 3 years are, like, what, 5s and 6s? Like, that's pretty much it.
So they're gonna protro the 8.
The 8 is coming out, but it's coming out with all white and all black first, I think.
Probably,
I saw a picture of all white.
But there's some fire colorways that are gonna come out.
Any of the original colorways or just a bunch of new stuff?
There's gonna be some.
So let me tell you something. There's a lot of new colorways in a lot of these Kobe's. Like, they haven't really touched a lot of the OG colorways yet.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you jump, like I said, the Grinch itself is so iconic and so important that it makes you think the Kobe line is way more fire than it is. The Kobe line is fire. Yeah. It's fire. But it ain't as fire as we think it is.
I don't even know what that means.
Look, you got to decipher
You
it,
can't
bro.
even know. You can't even put a proper measurement on that
I
statement.
rebuttal but I'm biased. So I'm no matter what.
We all biased.
We're from LA too.
Okay,
So.
see, look, no matter what you say, like whatever Kobe wore was gonna be fire. Unless you're talking about like some Kobe 1s or those crazy 8s, like like I'm not ever wearing a pair of crazy 8s outside.
There were some numbers in Kobe's line that sucked. There's numbers in every line that sucks. Jordan 9s and 8s are trash.
Yeah.
You didn't like 8s? Man, I gave a lot of buckets in 8s.
The funniest thing about the 8s though that no one realizes, you got to be super old to know this. If you literally take the straps off, the shoe looks incredibly fire under the straps. So why it has the straps, I have no idea.
I mean, you didn't know that until the straps actually disintegrated off itself. Like, nobody was actually taking them off in the original when they first came out. They came out when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I remember when they got
But you don't ever
beat.
see people putting pictures of the new releases up without the straps.
No. Nobody has the guts to do that right
Cut
now.
them off.
Now, I haven't seen that in a long, long time. Fire without them. Now, look, Jordan 8s, I like Jordan 8s. I don't mind them. But if an 8, 9, 10 never came out again, nobody would miss them.
Nope.
Nobody would say, like, yo, where's the Aquas? Nobody would say that. But look, the Kobe Grinches, reverse Grinch, whatever, of course we're trying for them. Like, I need 2. I need 3.
Okay.
But
if you get them, you can trade them for real Grinches. Huh?
I don't know. Now, does that look like a shoe? Does that look like a shoe that could do something major?
It's for sure gonna be a $500-$600 shoe, 100%.
Oh, okay.
And the other day I had a pair of EYBLs come in too.
I saw you post a picture of them joints was
They're
fire.
What, 2K, something around there?
There, you could find some used pairs for around 1,000.
Or they came in, but you didn't want to buy them.
So we legit checked them for someone because that's one of those shoes that never came out. So it's like,
I saw them on GOAT. I was like, geez, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's the details are fire on it. But another thing is obviously with this passing, like we see a lot of PEs coming in now. Like I can't say who sells them or whatever,
right.
but like I'll get like what was it? Like I'll get a few Devin Booker PEs, Trevor Ariza PEs. I've seen some AD PEs. I've even seen.
It makes sense in a city with an NBA team because they're just those kind of connections.
But people want to make some money on it. It's stuff like that I don't really buy just because it's like
Right.
I'll let you deal with it, put it on eBay or whatever.
Yeah,
or
you
like,
ain't gonna be able to move it.
you know, well, you probably won't be able to move it, but
No,
you know.
I'm saying like a store. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
reason
yeah,
for you to want to
like,
deal with that.
But part of me, respects Vanessa to where it's like, I just it's like almost a taboo kind of
Oh, okay. I
thing
got
too.
you.
You
All
know,
right.
Oh, so you really feel that way?
honestly, I do. Like, it's like I try to
See, you
keep.
thought I was disrespectful because I said the Mamacitas are overrated.
Look,
Now, on the court, NBA players look fire.
yeah.
Well, them joints is overrated. Like, they okay.
You could have let it live one year.
I let it slide. It's a tribute shoe, like it's like
Yep.
damn, like I feel bad, like I'm dissing on a tribute shoe, like it's a black and white shoe. It's hard to miss,
He must feel that way if you diss a Dorenbecker.
It's
Listen,
tough. Like, look,
I'll diss a Dorenbecker though.
look. I'm not saying they're good shoes, but like I know who's making it, and more power to him. But there's no Dorenbecker. The only Dorenbecker I would probably wear would be the 5s and the 3s. Even to me, look, I think the 4s are trash, honestly.
Oh, you smoking?
Dude,
Them is fire.
It's a
the
bright,
5s? The
bright,
5s are embarrassing.
The 5s,
Them joints got all them words written all over.
you can't
it,
even
that
see
black
them. You
light.
can't
Them
even
is
see
black,
them. You put the black light on them, then they start shining and everything.
3, 4, and maybe 6. I will say the 6.
Look, you're wearing you'd be a grown man wearing a big ass Superman on the tongue. Like, you're not wearing a Superman T-shirt.
That's different. But you said a 5 is a gigantic patent leather boot.
No, but you can't even see it.
It's patent leather.
I don't know. It's all right, but don't get me. It's not my favorite. But
I'll say this: the Superman stuff is for kids,
Of course.
yeah.
So
100%.
I mean, it is that, but
They did it well.
Yeah.
It could have
The
been
shoe-
really
the
bad.
shoe-
I think it, from our nostalgia, that's why it gets hyped up. That's really what it is. That's what I think.
Well, see,
the
I thought
shoe
it was.
itself is nice. I'm not gonna say like putting Superman logos on stuff is nice, but like it's a 4, number 1, and it's
But that's why it does
nubuck or
well, 'cause it's
suede
a
or whatever
4.
you want to call it.
It's in the right spot too. The Superman
yeah,
logo.
you know,
And they put it on the
could
side.
be. It could be a lot worse.
I thought they were awful. Then I went to Nike Scottsdale, and they were like, "Hey, you want to see him?" I was like, "What the?" And Darnell Dockett was in there at the time when he played for the Cardinals. They were showing him, so they let us both see it. I looked at it like, dang, these joints are really nice. Had the little, like, the arrows, like the imprint sort of on the new buck and stuff. I was like, these are super clean. The bottom was clear. I was like, oh, these is all right. I went back and camped out. Didn't get a pair, but
I want them to retro the 3s because I think that's honestly the best.
that's retroed before though, right?
It has,
Yeah.
but like
3s and 6s have the only DBs have retroed.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe Formposite? Maybe the 10 too?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Maybe the foam did. I can't remember right
I don't
now.
remember. Oh, look, I do want reverse Grinch. I mean, I'm doing just red, like, or bright red, whatever
Yeah.
you want, chili pepper, whatever it is.
Anything red is always going to do well, honestly.
It's fine. I do want them, but obviously, I would if I had the opportunity to get regular.
Somebody's gonna
Grinches.
wear one of each. And,
100%.
It's gonna make
Of
me
course.
angry.
It may be me if I get my hands on.
No, I guarantee an NBA player is going to do it before
Oh,
you.
of course, they're gonna be on the court. It's gonna be somebody on the bench. Jordan 11 DMP's coming back out. Anybody care?
I don't like wearing 11s, honestly.
Let me tell you something. If they put the patent leather back down low, I'm copping 2. All right. They leave it back where it's high now.
Look,
no thanks.
for my business, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Black and white 11 during the holidays, it's going to sell.
From
like
a
hotcakes.
nostalgia standpoint, is cool. Do I care to buy it and wear it? No. Like, come on.
Even the patent leather regular. I still have an OG DS pair of 11s from
Now, at some
whatever year
point,
that
am
was.
I gonna have like if I'm like 55 years old and like midlife crisis where I feel like I need to buy Concords again just to put them on the shelf? Maybe.
Yes, and you
I'm
get
a little
convertible.
ways
Look,
away from that.
It's a clean shoe. I have no problem with it coming out. I think they played the safe route with
Of course.
it.
To me, that shoe was always made only for the basketball court. What do you wear it with? I don't even.
Don't do that because we used to wear them to school and stuff like
Yeah,
that. In
when we-
college, don't do that.
Yes, and when we were kids, and you realize that all kids are tacky because when you're an adult, you're like, yeah, we were tacky.
No, we weren't.
Fam, you wore pants that covered your entire shoe and jerseys
Fam, I got
bigger than
best
this room.
dress in high school. In the
Bigger than
yearbook.
this, yeah, so did I. Bigger than this room and pants that covered your entire shoe.
So we were tacky.
We were
with
tacky.
the times.
It's tacky.
And big pants are back now.
No. Big pants aren't back. Pants that are bigger but then still slim down low so you can see the shoe are back. Like parachute pants. Yes, I agree with you.
I don't know about that.
That's them pants that you be wearing, like the swishy pants. You got some, you know.
Hey, look,
you do.
we've all done some questionable things. We used to wear 2 Nike socks together.
You ain't
cargos.
copping beyond baggies, family. You ain't doing that. And Jinkos ain't back for nobody. so
Let
don't
me
do
tell
that.
you something.
Big
First of
pants
all,
ain't
these
back.
aren't DMPs. Because
You've been
it
saying
ain't
that
a
for
pack.
like 2 years now.
These are just defining moments. If you ain't gonna sell the 6 with it, it ain't no pack. If the patent leather goes back down low, copped. If the patent leather stays high, not copped. Now, you right. They played it safe. What you gonna do? When Concord come back out, what you gonna do?
I'm surprised they haven't retroed the Gamma. That's
Gee.
one thing I'm surprised they haven't.
Why? Why do people keep saying that?
Because
I heard that they were supposed to.
There's always it's always a rumor. But
why Gammas? Why out of all Jordan 11s,
because that's
Gamma is
think
the
about
one?
it. That's like one of the first like all black 11. And
Yeah, but if they did the cap and gowns,
but that came out after.
it did. But Gammas, a lot of
But look,
people.
look at
Don't hate Gammas are nice.
Hold on, no. Historically or whatever.
it was
Well,
different.
we're not wearing.
people didn't
Look,
like
we're
them.
not wearing them.
You know
but-
what I think
But Gammas are nice.
is because I
I think I
always.
always believed that.
If you remember back in the day, do you remember when people would make those dirty bread customs?
Yeah.
So you black out. So I
That
think
didn't make you
not,
think of that.
no. But like
I know what you're saying.
this is a proper all black, 11 from Jordan. So I think that's why there's a lot of nostalgia behind that shoe.
I thought the 72 10s were way better than Gammas.
Yeah.
Now they had the little glitter in the pan leather. They probably looked more better in hand than maybe foot, or maybe the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But Gammas, when Gammas came out, I remember nobody liked them. They talked bad about them, even though we all bought them. They talked bad about them. We all bought them, but we all talked bad about them. Now look, I have no desire to wear an 11 whatsoever,
Uncomfy.
whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it is sort of the safe way. It's cheating. Drop a Concord, you see
It's gonna do
11s.
numbers. Yep.
You see your 11s looking a little shaky here and there. You drop a Concord. You drop a Space Jam.
It just brought everyone back.
Fam, they drop a Space Jam. They go back to the low patent leather. It will bring some people back who left.
I'm curious to see if they're gonna do 45 or 23. You do 23, it's a knockout.
Well,
of
I'm
the
more
park.
curious if they're gonna put the Jordan on the eyelets, because remember that was only for like certain people or whatever that was. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like gold. or
I mean, the
whatever.
Finding Moments pack was the very first thing I was gonna buy resale my entire life, and that was when I was in DC working. I went to New York to Flight Club. It had dropped. I was gonna buy it, and they had it for $700, the entire pack. He went downstairs in the basement thing. He said, "Hey, you got $750?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, somebody's going to be $750." I was like, "Fam, I'll give you $750 for it." He went back down, came. "Hey, you got $830." I was like, "Man, no!" And I was like, "I thought that's not how this works. It says $700. Wait, what the heck is going on?" I was heated. Look, if it comes out, I may buy the 11. I'm more curious about the price. That's what I'm curious about, because whatever 11s go for now, it'll be $20 more, maybe more.
I think it'll still be 25 or whatever.
$225? Is that what they go for?
I think that's what they're at right now. Yeah.
Sheesh.
A lot of people barely made their money back on the cherries, And I actually like the cherries better than the cool grays.
Cool gray 11s?
Yeah.
Cool gray 11s are trash.
It's such a basic shoe.
I
But
hate cool gray 11s. He think it's the best 11.
really.
No, it's not the best one, but I
That's what
liked it.
you told me.
No, I didn't.
You ranked them.
Well, I'll have to go back and look at that.
I
don't
for
think
sure
put
like the
that number
cherries
one.
better than the cool grays.
I think
Cherries are
Space
fire.
Jams are better than those.
Space Jam's a fire too.
Yeah,
I don't
Space
like
Jam-
that
I
they
would
did the
put Space Jam
45
with
on
that.
the Space Jam. That was my one.
I think
gripe
what I
with
said was Concords are number one from a nostalgia.
Of course, Concords, everybody, mamas,
landscape.
aunties, everybody knew.
I was
those.
gonna say, I
landscape.
say bread 11s, honestly.
Fam, we wouldn't know who the Get Money Boys are if it wasn't for Concords. So
Yes, to get money, boys.
one of the greatest viral moments in sneaker history, and that's that's not debatable.
Are you right? That was a good time, man. I don't know. We'll see how they do. I saw a lot of people like a lot of excitement for it, but like you said too, I think Georgia brought it up. Knowing that reverse Grinches are coming out, knowing that DMP 11s are coming out, Laney ones, all these ones, we're gonna keep seeing them so much to where by the time it comes out, like right now, I'm like, oh yes, pan leather back to normal. I'm copping, but let the day get close. I'm like, I'm good. Like
That's how I feel with those
I'm good.
black and white 85s coming out too.
I got
When I heard they were
pandas.
coming out, I was like, I want them. But then like I put my 14 on feet, and they look like pandas, and I'm just like, I don't know if I really want them.
I got 2 or 3 pair of pandas.
Yeah.
I really love the Jordan Black White High, but like I got no use for it if I got pandas. Anyways, Jordan, do NFL picks so we can go home now.
All right. 2
games this week. Season's almost over. Super Bowl picks basically right now. We can go home. Who played this week? Cowboys and who?
Let's see. Championship weekend. Oh, the phone will load.
You should give it right.
First game, Sunday, 1 p.m. Had it. 49ers at Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles favored by 2.5.
Eagles. 31-14.
How is the weather supposed to be?
Cold. It's Philadelphia. And a bunch of rude individuals in the crowd. That's their weather.
I feel like the Niners can pull up an upset.
No way. They don't got enough offense. They were equally matched.
They played one bad game.
They were equally matched with the Cowboys.
Yeah, but fam, listen, I talked with somebody about this at the bar on like whatever day it was. What day did the Cowboys play? Sunday?
Sunday.
So I talked about it with him
time.
on Saturday because we were there to watch the Eagles. I was with Phil watching the Eagles. And he was talking about, what was the line for that game? Niners favored by 4 or something like that. And I said the Cowboys have the A level where they can beat anyone, but they also have C, D, E, and F where you don't know what team will show up.
Facts.
We've seen the Cowboys defense show up before looking like USC defense.
Facts.
They showed up that week. They played their C game on offense or whatever, but their A game on defense. Facts. That was the best defensive game they played all season.
I was worried about their defense. Second best defensive game.
So, because you don't know which one's going to show up. That's my point. So,
I had no worries about the offense. I had worries about the defense.
But that's the thing is, like, the Cowboys, when they're A team, and you could say that about every team. The A game. No. Some teams don't have that level even at their top. Cowboys played probably the best defensive game they had all season. Yeah, they had Purdy confused and whatnot. The Niners still played okay enough on offense to get the job done. Like, I know their defense is better. Yeah, so, I mean.
Move the ball, move the sticks. They did that. But
Philly's secondary is better than Dallas's, so we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, Niners coach prefers to run the ball. I think Brock Purdy is good enough to win a Super Bowl, but I'm picking Jalen Hurts. That's my guy. So I'm not going against my guy. Jalen Hurts, from the beginning, I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. I'm picking the Eagles.
Who are you rolling with?
I'm going to go with Niners. I think they'll pull off an upset.
We'll see about that.
Honestly, at this point where we are, I don't think KC wins it because of Mahomes' injury, which is I'm kind of giving away my next pick. But at this point, I would be fine with any of the other 3 teams winning it, to be honest. I'd probably root for Burrow over anyone, but.
So Bengals, Chiefs?
Bengals, Chiefs, second game. Bengals are actually favored, which I'm assuming that's probably has to do with Mahomes' injury. But I'm picking Bengals.
But also, Mahomes hasn't beaten the Bengals.
Well, they lost him last year, but I don't know if he hasn't.
He hasn't beat the Bengals yet.
I mean, maybe he hasn't beaten like Burrow, but I'm sure they played the Bengals in years past or whatever. Sure.
I'm going Bengals. Bengals, like I said, had become like around week 9 the best team in football to me, and I said it.
Well,
Bengals,
so we had talked
Eagles.
about like at some point it looked like the light bulb went on for Burrow, where you like are kind of shocked at how well he navigates the pocket. Like
those
that
first 4 games was shaky.
Once that light bulb went on for me about the week 10 or 12 or whatever it was, I'm like, yeah, he looks like he may not have this long speed of Allen or Mahomes or one of them, but he's just as quick in that short area of space navigating the pocket. That like, yeah,
he's the best quarterback skills out of all 3 of them.
I still will go with Mahomes,
but Mahomes has the most accuracy and innovation.
Yeah, but that counts. That's the new game.
Well, a real quarterback, Burrow's a real quarterback.
Burrow, what's crazy about it is like you could design a perfect defense and Burrow will still get the ball out and a guy will be open somehow. It's so weird. I don't get it. He always knows where to go with the ball.
Ideal.
Yeah, anyways. I got Bengals too.
Bengals.
Oh, you pick Bengals too? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you picked Mahomes then.
No, I just said, fam, you didn't hear what I said all before that?
Okay.
I picked Bengals to win the Super Bowl.
Nice. Me too.
But like I said, outside of KC, because we saw KC win it 2 years ago, I would be fine with the other 3 teams winning it. I like Jalen Hurts. I like Joe Burrow. And I'm okay with Brock Purdy.
I don't want the Eagles or Niners to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I understand why you don't want the Eagles to win. Niners aren't in your division. I know y'all had rivalry. Like Terrell Owens was there,
Still
but that's
a
long time ago. Bro.
It's historic.
It's a long time ago.
It is. George, you got anything else? Wilson, we appreciate you coming through.
Yes, sir.
Everybody check out Rerun. You see the stuff on the screen somewhere down here below. We got his Instagram. We got Rerun's Instagram. Hottest nigga shop in Arizona to me and to Wilson. He just don't want to say it. That's a sneak this. Pow, 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 pow.